Welcome to Virtual Mimics and Gimmicks, where a bunch of idiots pretend to know what they're doing and in the process torment me with their vicious mockery. I'm your friendly neighborhood dungeon master and player punching bag Anastasia. Playing Troy, our half-wood elf ranger with a taste for bear blood, is Sean. As Magnus, our dark and brooding tiefling rogue, is Clint. We've got Ryan playing Buren, our furbolg cleric who prefers liquid courage, and Tatiana playing as Poofers, our wily tabaxi barbarian. And unfortunately, our beautiful sorcerer has a stomach ache today and will be returning to camp post-haste. So, are we ready for the recap? Last time on Dungeons & Dragons Ball Z, our heroes continued their adventures in the depths of the Underdark, where they found themselves after joining a Warden exploratory expedition led by the legendary Abyss Walker, Fen Artoria. The party did kind of a lot. First, they shared with Captain Artoria their discovery of a mysterious gem rumored to have catastrophic potential, but not before telling several of the shady folk in town, a decision which definitely had no negative consequences whatsoever. Then they went back to the shady town to meet with another shady fellow who goes by the name of Umbra, who is advertising sponsorship for Definitely Not Fightclub. Our heroes proved their strength to him, who in return for a promise to fight for him, gave them a tour of Tartarus, an enormous underground criminal city that hosts to the death tournaments. While there, they spotted in the champion's shield a black gem similar to what they had already found. Then they returned to the Underdark to pursue more gems, only to run into an enormous Hydra, which they definitely didn't struggle with at all. His defeat saw the collection of another gem, this one blue and emanating an icy chill. Now our heroes are in the Underdark. How will the rest of today's expedition fare? Will they be able to find any more gems? All this and more now on Dungeons & Dragons Ball Z. That was a rough one. I really struggled to speak.
You have to do
I have to do my vocal exercises before.
Say a bunch of tongue twisters.
Yeah, that was rough. Okay, it's fine. We'll continue. So right now you guys are in the chamber where the Hydra lay dead and dissolving away into icy snow. Poofers had dexterously grabbed the blue gem, which in your tiny cat paws feels cold. Not like iceburn cold, but like a little chilly.
Cold-ish.
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to take some bandages from my medkit and kind of like tie the gem to my sword so that somebody cannot get to it.
Okay, you do that.
This is going in the safe spot.
At the same time, Troy's grabbing a thin napkin out of his pocket, but then sees her do that and puts it back away because she doesn't need it.
You guys all just carry a napkin in your pocket just in case.
Yeah, I look over
You never know when you gotta handle a dangerous artifact, okay?
That's true.
The pocket square of fruit.
I think now that we found this thing, we should probably get out of here.
I mean, yeah, so we either need to leave or take a really good rest, because I do not feel good.
I don't think we can rest here for 8 hours. I don't think we're supposed to. It sounds scary.
I mean, the big scary beast is dead.
Let me cast...
I'm a little afraid of getting out of here. You know, what might be in front of us or behind us? I don't know. That way. Back out.
I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on Magnus.
Okay. Let me know the roll for that.
It's 11 HP.
Okay.
Ooh, feel better. Feel almost half myself.
So you are able to take a short rest if you wish. It's just there is a risk attached to standing in the same place.
Well, I mean, there's a risk attached to moving, too. So
Yeah, but you
should...
may end up with 3 encounters instead of 2.
What if we just sprinted
It's a gamble.
home?
Okay, yeah, I mean, you can try.
Just like as fast as we could. Just bail from
How
every
far
encounter.
does your dimension door get us, Barry?
Ooh.
Well, it only gets 2 of us 400 feet.
Well, what if you cast it, like, a lot? Just kept going back
Over and
for
over.
people
Yeah.
and just move us like a little conveyor belt out
Spam
of the
it.
cave. So safe. Okay, so that's out.
I think there's a one cast of it too.
Okay, how's
There's
it?
one
Does it? Callie, do you have any health potions? I'm not doing too hot.
I have 2. I didn't learn about the healing stuff, and more about the blowy stuff up stuff. So, but I have
told
2
you
potions.
to go defensive for this.
Yeah, I did. There just wasn't a lot of good opportunities to use the spells. Like, I can
How's everybody else doing on health potions?
Speaking of that, I'm gonna take one.
I have 2. I can give you one.
I have 2.
I don't want to take them from everybody though. I'm 44. If I were to put my health into a number, I feel like I would be 44 down out of 71 total.
You
I
are
have
welcome to try and just
9.
like that is an option.
I think we should try and go.
I mean, it's probably a good call.
I mean,
Okay,
here we
I'm gonna
go.
pop 2 health potions. I don't care who they come from, and we should just go. I think.
Callie will give
I'll. Troy, save yours. I can heal myself. So, I'll give one to Poopers.
Yeah, I used one of mine. I have one left.
All right, so you
gonna-
guys go ahead.
I'm gonna use one of mine now, I think.
All right, you burn all your health potions.
No, I still have one.
All right, after collectively patching each other up and throwing health potions down each other's throats, you kind of like huddle up and begin your escape from Cavern 31C of the Underdark. Let's make some rolls. Okay. Viren
Rub some dirt on it.
and Callie. So as you guys are walking down these dark caverns, Callie kind of like stops for a second and then elbows Viren really hard. And you had kind of like felt something was off, and you look where she's pointing. And down kind of like one of the hallways of this cavern that you haven't been down, you spot some faintly shimmering things down there. They seem like oddly colorful. Well, you can only see in black and white, so it seems like a lighter shade than you would figure for something down here.
It's very colorfully gray.
I feel like there's a carrot and a stick about to happen here.
Do any of us see this, or is it just you guys?
Is it just me and?
Yeah,
just
you
me
2 are
and
the only
Callie?
ones who notice it, and you can point it out, but you're like, oh, it's over there.
Can
And these are lights.
I take a
shimmering
look?
Lights.
Like, am
They're
I close
not-
enough to take a look without kind of disturbing the group?
No, so they're about 40 feet away. You just see something that is like way lighter in shade than the rest of this area. So it's not like glowing. It's not lit up, you know.
And right now, it's just Kelly and Bjorn that see it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'll tell the group, guys. There's something over there. It just seems
Over where? Cooper starts looking around.
that way. Down. It seems like down that channel there. I'm not really sure what it is.
Cooper
mean,
goes
yeah.
over and looks.
You want me to go take a look?
Mr. Stealthy, you should probably go take a look.
Cooper begins to walk down the channel.
Poofers, and I
Why?
yank her.
I'm walking in place as Barry holds me.
All right, hold on. I'll go take a look. I'm gonna go
Stealth roll,
stealthily.
please.
24.
All right. Cool.
So I'm gonna head down towards it slowly and stealthily, making sure I don't see movement or anything like that in front of me.
You see very, very slow, faint movement from this thing up ahead, and as you kind of get closer and your vision becomes more defined and sharp, you see 2 creatures of near identical appearance, you know, forgiving biological diversity, and they look like this. It's posted in context in our Discord channel.
Giant snail-looking things.
Oh, that
How
is
are
gnarly
they-
looking.
Scaled, like to that.
No, they are not. They're not that big.
They're like
They
dog-sized?
are. Yes, they are like dog-sized.
Dog-sized. Okay, is that what is the shiny thing that we saw?
Yeah, it is not. Yes. So it's not glowing.
Okay.
It's just a little bit like reflective and lighter.
Okay. I'm going to back away. Are they moving towards us where the group was, or are they moving away?
They seem to just be like picking around in the dirt in their little cavern.
Okay. I'm gonna back away and let the group know what I saw.
And Callie's like, "Are you sure? That's what you saw. They were snails, like for sure."
That's what they looked like.
They were
looked like,
grazing on dirt
looked
like cows?
slow little snails, and they were just eating dirt things.
They were probably looking for like worms and other disgusting things that I don't like. But I do like those things. Do you remember when we were in town before the like merchant turned around and like stabbed us in the back and stuff like that? And there was a thing on the shelf and it was beautiful and I wanted it and it was expensive. The shell those have them.
I mean,
Wait, why is it okay?
Well,
Hold
well,
on.
well.
why are they? Do we know anything about these?
Yes. So
Are they expensive because those things are hard to get, or because they're rare?
both. Yeah. So the snails wear anti-magic shells, very valuable potion ingredient, and I want them. However, everyone here is bleeding profusely, which is of course a risk. But they're very defensive. They're super hard to hit, and I don't know too much about them, but sometimes they yell if they feel threatened.
Do
Vote no on this one.
So
But guys, they go for like 5,000 gold apiece.
they could get us so many health potions?
yeah, all of 10 apparently.
Health potions won't help if we're dead.
So then we're good then, right?
I mean, I'm fine with it. I just that is 10,000 gold.
I mean, yeah, but I'm still not looking too good. Guys, and I hold up my hand and like one of my fingers is just dangling. Like, guys, I don't know how good this is going to go.
Well, it's not 10,000 gold if Callie's gonna keep them and use them.
That's very true. Callie, could we just sell them?
To
mean-
you?
If you want to break a girl's heart, I guess.
I'm gonna vote no on this one, guys. I will happily run in there and risk my life for you, but only if you vote against me.
I mean, if they're look how slow they're moving. So if it's not going well, we should be able to escape, right? Callie, they move slow like this normally?
Yeah, I think it's less them like killing us and more whatever they would attract.
Yeah, they yell. They screech. They're screeching
Yell,
snails.
they get bright. They
Oh, I can cast darkness to keep the brightness down. And do we have a way to silence them?
I'm looking at that right now.
Like, does Callie, do you have a way to make them really quiet?
let me check my spell list.
I mean, can we just rip the shell off the back and then bail?
I mean, it's attached to the creature, but you can certainly try.
Can we take
Oh,
the creature?
so if we're not afraid of this creature itself, could we just take the creature and run?
I mean, it'll fight you,
The snail is gonna
and
fight
they're
us.
big. Like, they're not gonna let you take their home.
That's true. Also, do you really want to take the home from this poor creature?
Yes.
What kind of a person
I do.
are you?
You know,
One
Poofers,
who desperately wants rare materials.
I'm curious. Do you eat bugs, but do you eat snails?
Have you had
Ooh.
escargot?
I have never had the pleasure of eating a snail. Usually when I spot them, there's some other delicious bugs around, and I just assume that they won't be as good as those other bugs. So I actually don't know.
I mean, if you eat their face, they can't scream, right?
I also don't mean to say much, but I came down here and risked my life because I wanted to find potion ingredients. Also because I love you guys.
But we might be able to get so much out of this tournament thing and not have to die to snails.
That's true, but we're gonna have to rig the tournament really well.
And let us not forget, we also have a gem, which is worth lots of these shells,
We have 2 gems now.
which is worth twice lots of these shells.
Could buy a lot of shells with those.
That's true. And the snails, they shriek. And who knows, maybe they summon a beholder or something really scary that I don't want to deal with right now.
Then let's keep going. If it's not worth it, it's not worth it.
I'm sorry, Callie, I know that you really want them, but you won't be able to make the cool potions if you're dead. Callie, I promise if one day I'm rich enough to buy this for you, I will buy you one, okay? If I'm on an adventure one day when I'm really powerful, with all my friends, and we go into a magic shop and there's one sitting on the shelf, I will think about you and I will purchase it and I will send it to you no matter where
Pinky
you are.
promise.
I do.
There's 2 snails over here.
No, I said buy, not steal. Stealing their home from the poor snails.
So she lets out a series of longing sighs as you guys start to walk away and is like looking back, terribly upset. Do you run into anything on your way back?
Please no.
You don't. All right, so you make it back to camp, safe and sound.
Can we note
Having
where
walked-
these snails are?
Yes, but they'll probably move.
I mean, slowly, but
Might be
we
able
can
to
mark
track
it. We can mark it.
That's fair.
Snails leave tracks, right? I mean, you can't just look down into some dirt and there's not like this gross snail.
Sure, but do anti-magic snails leave tracks?
Oh, I'm glad we did not fight them. That would have been
That was the first thing she said, is the anti-magic
Yeah.
shell.
It's like the
Oh my
Shells.
god, I didn't catch that. We should not fight those.
All right, well,
Oh.
for
Wisely.
the sake of it, Troy marked it with his cartography tools with the maps he's been making, their location.
Okay.
I mean, the guy with 9 intelligence.
Yeah, can we get a survival roll, please?
Hey, I have
Geodata. Come on. Come on, bow.
Sorry, I hate this muting
Suspense
thing.
is-
It's an 11. I'm
Suspense
sorry.
is killing me.
I'm sorry. I have no mouse.
I'm so
I'm on
excited.
a laptop. I'm sorry.
The suspense.
It was an 11. It was an 11.
So it's average. It's above average, actually.
You kind of like leave an X on where you think you are on the map, and you're like, "That's close enough." And then you cough up some blood and like brush it off.
All right. So we made it out safely out of the cave.
Yeah, you're back in camp.
Oh, thank God we made it back. So
Where-
we have
Away
another gem.
From 10,000 gold.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Don't even get me started on what we've walked away from. So
10,000 gold and alive. Just saying.
Yeah. What do we do with the other gem?
Airbeer has one. And
And
Alright.
the other one's
And I have
tied
one.
to
It's
her
taped.
sword.
Taped to my sword.
Right.
Is it like basic, like what's it called? Basic see-through tape, and it's just wrapped around?
I mean, I was thinking more like bandages, so it's just kind of mummified onto the hilt.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
You know.
Let's make sure it's like not easily seen. Extra tape.
Okay.
Extra mummy.
You type it extra good. And you're in camp. You make it back to your tent, I guess.
Okay, guys. So we got how long were we out for?
Probably like 6 or 7 hours. You have, I think that leaves like 30-ish hours until Imbros comes.
Oh, we got some downtime.
You are welcome to stay in camp and do nothing if you want. But
Well, I would say for the next 8 hours, we're not going to do anything.
Yeah. Hey Barry, how close does the next closest gem feel?
And I close my eyes and kind of like,
You cast
how
a
far away?
spell.
Yeah.
You do not get the empowered version of the spell this time.
Oh, hold on.
Wait.
And I go hold the sword out to Barry. I'm like, put your hands around this bad boy.
I put my hand on it, and then I try it again.
Okay.
Yeah, you do.
You got a higher roll that time, so good.
Nice.
You kind of like reach your mind out and feel that foreign presence kind of empower your spell again. I need you to roll perception, please. But you no longer feel the one very close to you. The rest feel kind of in the distance as they were before.
What do you mean by in the distance? Are we talking like a couple miles out, or like?
Yeah, like somewhere in the caverns.
Gotcha. So there's more of them. I rolled an 18, by the way, for perception.
How many do you feel?
That is a good question.
18 with perception. Okay, Biren, you notice that whatever foreign entity seems to be assisting you with the spell is channeling its energy through your divine sigil. Kind of like smuggling itself in. How many do you feel? As with before, you can't feel it, like it's specifically in this area. There's one here, one here, one here. You feel just kind of like a density of them. The density feels lighter than it did before. I don't want to say insignificant, but not significant either. So there's probably still quite a few remaining.
It seems like they're out there. It's hard to tell how many, but it seems like there's at least a few.
Has anybody seen Aravera around?
She walked back to camp in her tent. She's asleep. I don't know.
Very good excuse.
I learned
She got
45
food
minutes.
poisoning.
I learned 45 minutes ago that she ate Magnus's burrito that he had been saving. Okay.
Why do you carry all these burritos with you?
You know?
It's the same burrito!
Right?
It
I
just
haven't
keeps
got rid of it.
regenerating.
I was gonna make a poison out of it. She didn't know. It's not her fault.
I don't know about going out there for another one of these without Aravera till her food poisoning passes.
Why don't we rest up and see if we can go back and just see if we can find the snails?
We could try that. We could try and go find the snails. Go slowly, see if we can spot them or where they've went to.
Would you move sluggishly?
Yes.
Oh, God. What do you
Get
think?
out!
Troy, you feeling some
Do I
escargot?
get inspiration for that?
No, the DM.
No, you don't get
No.
inspiration
Hell
because you use
no.
it against us. You can get inspiration for Callie.
Okay.
Yeah, how else is Callie supposed to get inspiration? Yeah, we'll funnel that way.
Long rest.
Thanks for the follow, Spooderman.
All right.
I say
So-
we get a rest and get kind of repaired up here, eat a little something, not this burrito, and then head out to see if we can find the snails. Kill a
Yeah,
little
I'm
time.
down for that. Down to sleep a little bit.
Also, when do we have to meet up for Fight Club?
That's like
You-
3 days from now.
Okay.
It'll end up being like 2-ish days by the time you return from snails.
Okay. Well, what do you guys think about that? Thoughts?
Yeah, let's do it. And I go over to my cot and I just plop down on it with my sword underneath me and go to sleep.
All right.
Yeah, right.
The rest of you just go into
Yeah.
sleep. Okay.
Nap time.
You all throw yourselves down, tuck in, and take a much-needed rest. It is not a particularly peaceful sleep. Nothing down here is peaceful. You kind of like, there's like some skittering, and you like wake up really quick, and you're reminded of the skeleton cold things that you had fought, and then you'll hear like a roar down in the caverns, and wake up and be like, a Hydra. But in the end, you end up getting your rest. You can regenerate all your HP or whatever.
Oh man, that was needed.
That was very needed. We should probably also... Oh, crap, the shop's gone, huh? Is there anywhere
Yeah.
we can get health potions?
Callie brought some ingredients with her, not an exceptional amount. She can make 5 in total.
Oh,
You still have to pay her.
Let's make a deal. Since we're going out here to try to get you the shells.
Are you though, or are you just gonna sell them?
No, I think we can give them to you. I think it's fair.
Can you roll deception?
She knows she'll lie.
That was only a 25.
She squints at you and she's like, "I know you're full of shit, but
With a 25.
keep going." She rolled really high too.
Ugh.
I will try and give
Oh.
you the shells, Callie.
So, since Poofers is going to try to give you the shells, and we're going back out to risk our lives for your shells, I think you should hook us up with some health pots.
Okay, or I can just, give them to you for the already discounted price.
Right, but or we
And
could
then you
just
can-
sell the shells, and then we could buy them.
Or you can just take the money that you would have given me from the shells and keep it and pay me now.
See, you're just not making sense at all.
I hand Callie 80 gold.
Okay.
And I take 2 health potions.
Ugh. All right,
I'll take one.
I give her 79 gold.
She gives you 1 health potion.
Callie, did you say
Alright,
that these
fine,
were
give the other
anti-magic shells? So how
Yeah.
is Barry gonna do anything against them?
He's got a mace. He can just BAM!
What
And
about
no-
you?
Oh, well. That's a good question.
Yeah,
Let's see
what is
spells
your plan for these snails since you want them so bad?
Me and Callie are gonna have tea while you guys go kill those snails.
Well, not every spell does magic damage. Like this one does. I'm not going to cast it because I don't want to waste one of my precious daily spell slots. That one does bludgeoning
Daily
damage.
spell slot. Ooh.
A lot of them do magic damage. Why don't we I'll focus on support this time. How about that? Like hasten you a little bit.
How about you also prepare for whatever this thing screams to get?
I can do that.
Ooh, do we have any sacks or bags or anything that are big enough to fit those?
Do we
should
have a
take
bag
those
of
with
holding?
us.
What happened to that?
We do
No one
not have a
bought
bag
it.
of holding. We have a bag of useless things. And
Let's pull something
I pulled
out.
2 things out of the bag.
Yeah. We haven't checked on that in a little while.
Come on, let's pull some socks out of there.
Come on, unicorn.
We could use some anti-magic stuff.
I need to save this link because I have to pull it up every time and I can never find it. So is the bag of useless things.
Because if we can get a bag of holding, we could have just thrown those snails into the bag of holding.
All right, your
Get the
first
bag out.
item. You reach into the bag of useless items and
Come on,
pull
Bear.
out a item of peculiar shape. It's 8-sided. It's flat. It's painted red, and in some language that I believe Poofers and Magnus speak, it says "stop."
Oh, no.
I put it up outside the tent. Okay, 1 down.
The second item you pull out, Poofers, you reach your hand into the bag and find something very soft and kind of like gooey and slippery, and then you put your other hand in to kind of like get a better grasp on it and pull out a stick of butter.
Oh my gosh, this is perfect.
This is perfect.
We need
Are
to
you
kill
thinking
these
what I'm
snails.
thinking?
Yes, we need to kill these snails. And now we have something to cook them with. Come on.
Wait, does anybody have a bunch of salt? Who's got a bunch of salt?
Oh, great idea.
We should get salt. They probably have like a kitchen here somewhere. We can go get some salt.
I mean, there's a ton of rocks. So clearly there should be some rock salt around here.
I'm not sure that's how that works.
That's totally how it works.
I'm gonna tell you now, the stat block does not say weakness to salt.
It's a snail.
But the
Oh, yeah.
snail real life stat block does.
I mean, we can try.
Salt the snail!
Or
Ah!
so, yeah, get out of here, snail. Yeah.
Well, I don't know that the battle with the snail is going to be the issue. I think it's going to be whatever it draws in, that's
So,
gonna be
I
We're
have-
gonna have
a
to
real
silence
issue.
it.
But the sooner we kill the snail, the sooner we can leave.
What if we don't kill it? What if we just kind of lock it down and take it with us?
That's what I was saying with like the bag of holding, right? So if we can get something of that nature, if we can just silence the snail or put it to sleep, can you guys sleep it?
It's anti-magic.
Oh,
Hey,
crap.
can you?
Sleep potion or something.
Wait. Oh, I bet we can get a potion. We can for sure, if we all grapple
What
this thing,
potions do I
make it
have? Hold
drink.
on.
Make it drink like a paralyzation potion or a sleep potion.
Don't give it the pink potion.
Put it down its throat and rub its throat.
Well, the cool thing is, since nobody told me what any of these are yet, I still have a whole bunch of random potions that nobody
You
knows
should
what they are.
probably ask Callie about those.
I have, and she never got back to me on them. So
Oh.
Callie, do you have any
Callie.
sleep potions with you?
Come on, Callie.
I definitely have a vial of pink, purple. We know what the magenta potion does. Well, some people
Some
do.
of us
I
know what the...
I don't know either, Magnus. Don't worry.
I have an orange one that looks like water with sand, and then I have
You're
a
gonna have to slow down. This is a lot of potion.
and then I have a random vial from the Nightmare Realm that's also a magenta potion.
How do you know it's from the Nightmare Realm?
Oh no, I remember
Because
what
I wrote that down.
I remember what that one is.
Do I get to know or no?
Yeah, you can. You can ask about all of these. It's just gonna take me a second to tell you. And she's gonna have to expend a use of identity.
You're gonna finally tell him what the pink potion is for.
No, not
It's
that
magenta.
one.
Magenta.
Callie knows what that one is, and she's not telling Magnus.
All I know is I have to use it on a big baddie, and I have to make him drink it. That's all I know.
All right, the magenta potion from the Nightmare Realm is paint.
Paint.
Yes.
Okay.
Oop, whoever stakes that one.
Nope. Not yet.
Can you list them one at a time?
So I have a pink vial, or a vial with pink liquid in it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Literally could be anything.
Can you write? Make sure you write these down.
I'm writing them down right now.
Okay. The pink potion alters your speech patterns to be very cutesy.
Cutesy. Got it.
Like, ooh, what's this?
Oh, no.
I have a purple potion.
Purple potion. Is a wisdom boost potion, and that will increase your wisdom score by 2 for 2 hours, I think.
Sure. Let's go with that. +2 for 2 hours. Okay. And then the magenta potion.
The one that you're not allowed to know.
I don't know.
Good
Maybe.
try.
We have an orange potion.
What is this? Oh, this is a levitate potion, which is a free cast of levitate.
And then a potion that looks like water with sand in it.
I think that one was just water with sand in it.
Oh, come on.
Can't all be good.
All right, I'm just gonna keep
But
water
you
with sand.
definitely have to make somebody drink that one.
Yes. Yeah, oh, I also have a dose of heroin in case we need it.
I don't think it was ever established it was heroin. I think
It
you
was
just...
a drug
100%
that you
heroin.
determined was 100% some country black tar heroin.
Yeah, you did say that.
It's not on the record. I think this is before we were streaming, so it's whatever I say it is. But apparently,
It's we've decided it's heroin.
well,
It's
some of us
definitely
have decided.
heroin.
Heroin is what I have written down. All right, that's all my cool. Oh, I do have a vial of bed dragon shards as well.
AKA wood splinters.
Yes, but they're magical wood splinters.
Say.
Yeah, it was a dragon. They're
It
totally
was a
magical.
polymorphed bed.
Which became a dragon.
Very true. Okay, so exactly none of those potions are very helpful.
I have a
Magnus.
levitate potion. That'd be cool.
That would be cool,
Ooh.
but that's not going to silence the snails.
So
What can we
I have
float?
I have blindness, deafness. So
Oh.
if
But you have shrieklessness.
yeah, I don't know if they're like
Mute.
out of their little weird snail areas or if it's coming out of their little snail mouth.
I think they're called mouths.
I don't know. I suppose they're not like they don't have thoraxes. They've like Sorry, I'm not some expert on snails.
So,
Question up on your snail biology.
is there any place down here that sells potions, or do we bring like a potion master down here other than Callie?
She
That-
just looks at you like I'm looking at you.
that has extra stuff, you know, because I know your skills are there, but do you have the equipment to make a silence potion?
I don't know if that exists. Is it a spell that exists?
Wow,
I don't know.
real good potion master.
Mute. Well, we have blindness and deafness. Is there a muteness? Muteness. That's totally a
Do
word.
the snails have mute buttons?
Hey,
Oh,
Biren,
yeah, it's a silence spell.
can you like dimension door these snails?
Oh my gosh, that's a good call.
So
How deep in were these snails?
Ha, this is a spell that Baron could have taken. Laugh.
What? I can change my spells every 24 hours as long as I have a long rest. Clerics
You
can
have a
do that.
silence spell. Oh yeah, I forget that every class except wizards, the ones who should have access to their entire spell list, have access to their entire
I was
spell
gonna bring
list.
that up, by the way. There's also another thing that I can do.
Yeah, but we can't cast spells on them. We need to physically do something to them.
Yeah,
Well-
but Callie can turn spells into magic. Potions.
Just give me a second. I'm gonna look at my spell list.
So you're not certain exactly how the anti-magic shells function.
Callie, I would think that you would know a little bit more about this.
I've never seen one on a live snail, only on dead snails.
Ooh, I know who I can ask. And I would like to phone the monster hunter lady.
Wow, do you remember
I
her
forget
name?
her name. Yeah,
It's the
Harvey.
name-
Come in, Harvey.
It's the name of the Part 4 ghost.
I don't remember that either. Harvey, come in.
Yeah, what's up?
Ooh,
Oh my god, do you know what time it is?
No, I don't. It's dark here all the time.
Did you bring a clock or something?
Probably would have
Tell
been a
him
good idea.
my
I
sundial's
instantly look at
not
Troy.
working.
Can you please connect me to the lady whose name that I forget that taught me all about monster hunting?
Oh yeah, she's been asking where you are and why you haven't
I
taken
should
about
probably go say
anything.
hi.
Waiting for a report, I think.
On what did you say?
I don't know, that's between you and her. Seems like you should have taken notes.
Crap, guys, I forgot. Anyway, can you just connect me to her?
Yeah, her name is Remy, I think. Reimi. Remy.
All right, Remy, it is. Remy, hello.
Oh my god. Who is this? Do you know what time
This
it
is
is?
Poofers. Good morning. No, I have no idea what time it is.
Are you finally coming in with a report? It's been a while since I've heard from you.
What was I supposed to report on?
Well, I gave you a mission to hunt some of the creatures near camp. Also, on your adventures, you're supposed to be collecting logs on everything you.
Oh,
Hi.
I have been actually collecting logs. I just haven't gotten them to you. But I'm actually calling because we need to understand something about a creature that I just saw down here.
Where?
We're in the Underdark, by the way. It's very dark. That's why I have no idea what time it is.
Okay, what do you need?
They're snails. Hey, Callie, what are they called?
Anti-magic snails?
Anti-magic snails. They have the shells that are very valuable.
Alright, I'll give you a call back in a few minutes. I have to go check the journals.
Thank you.
And
Crap,
she-
guys, I definitely didn't write all that stuff down. I gotta do that.
Nice.
A few minutes later, you get a call back. And she says, alright, I think I found something close to what you've described. We haven't sent a lot of people down there, so we rely mostly on the reports from the Underdark expeditions, and people who do that generally don't like to do paperwork. So I don't have a lot. But it looks like magic has a high chance of failure against them, but it's not impossible to damage them. Their shells can be used to make some very powerful potions, but they're known to retract as soon as danger is present and sort of rely on that.
And I heard something about shrieking.
Oh yeah, it says here they like to yell, and they will glow bright in order to attract, well, not attract, to drive away other Underdark creatures, as those typically don't like bright lights and noises, but it could also attract things.
Okay, but they go inside the shell when they're in danger.
Yeah, the shell is powerful against magic and has a chance to reflect.
Does it say anything in there about salt?
It doesn't. I don't think anyone brings vast quantities of salt to,
Well,
torture
maybe they
dog-sized
should.
snails.
Torture. Is it any worse than fighting it for 2 hours?
Ooh, ask if we can break the shell. Can we just break the shell
The
off?
shell's breakable?
I'm sure if you hit it enough, it will eventually break.
Now, when it says reflect, does that mean reflect all damage or just the magic damage?
I believe there's a chance to reflect magical damage.
Okay. All right. Thank you. This has actually been very helpful. I appreciate it. I'll have those reports to you whenever I get back to Redcliffe.
And she just says, right. Well, I'll be here, I guess.
Thanks, Remy. Did you guys hear all that?
I think we got it.
So what's the plan here?
Well, I did switch to silence, so we have silence. The other thing that we haven't tried yet, maybe we can lure these snails back to camp, because
With the butter.
We should have
Several miles back to camp through the
Just-
dark.
It's gonna take a long.
we ride them.
What if
Oh god.
Our ancestors used to ride these puppies.
we poison some of the food that they eat? And I'm not saying poison to necessarily kill them. I mean, we can do that too, since we're probably gonna have to kill them anyway.
That's a
But-
great idea.
But if we poison or like, I don't know, even put them to sleep or whatever. I mean, we're gonna probably kill them anyway. But I mean, they're snails, and we got all this butter. But if we just poison,
To make the food
What
delicious.
are we gonna do with the butter?
we got all this butter. So
Maybe
if we
they
poison-
maybe they eat butter.
That's
Ooh.
what I said.
So if we poison the butter and they eat the poisoned stuff, they'll
Wait, is this
eventually
butter salted
die.
or unsalted?
Ooh, that matters too. And then it dies.
That is a good question. It is unsalted butter. I just rolled for it.
Okay, they'll probably eat it.
Right.
What
so
do
if we
snails
get-
eat?
Well, I think they eat worms. They were digging in the dirt, so we're gonna assume worms. And
So,
So
we
if
butter we burn and salt the ground.
oh, there we go.
No, here's what we do. Here's what
That
we
was
do.
smart.
We dig up some worms, we fry them up real nice with the butter, make them extra crispy, delicious, and then we poison the worms, and then we leave them by the snails, and the snails eat the worms, and then before they can screech, they die, and then we get the shells.
I mean, I don't see how this plan could fail.
It's foolproof.
Or we dimension door 'em, do our dirty work where they can't be heard, and then have a shell.
No
Where
one can
no
hear
one can
you
hear the
scream.
scream.
That's right.
Well, we can only dimension door 400 feet, and I think we were a couple miles in to the caverns.
But if Biren and Erebir chain their dimension doors, that's 800 feet.
So we go like we
There's
have
What?
only
Third of a
how
mile.
many feet
Mention
are in a
door
mile? Like
area.
3,100 or something? We
Yeah.
can do it.
then we'll take an 8-hour rest, and he can only move back like 20 feet in that time. We'll do it again.
I mean,
Can you
let's-
take?
get
I
back
honestly
here.
don't see how this could fail.
What's that other realm that you disappear to sometimes?
Oh, Barry, can you bring people? I mean,
What would that do?
you bring them
well,
to the other
again,
realm and start
we're-
going.
It's trying
with
to-
something, can't they?
It's trying to just separate the shell in a place where nobody can hear them scream.
Ooh. Also, Troy, can't you shoot them into another realm anyway?
Negative.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah, there was some other way. Oh, that was right.
You actually can, Troy. You have banishment. Banishing arrow, or is that your old class?
No, that was the
That
old
was the old
class.
class. If he did have his old class, remember that happened where there was he used banishing arrow and ended up in the same realm
On
as
the
me.
whale.
You think if we talk to Artura, that she would tell us? I'm sure she's encountered these snails before. A good way to defeat them,
And possibly what they eat.
and possibly what they eat.
Yeah, that's
Honestly,
a good
I think
idea. Go
poisoning
visit
the
her.
food supply and doing scare tactics. We're
Yeah,
gonna
let's
scare
be
these snails
let's-
out of their shell.
Be creative about this.
Callie raises her hand. And
Callie.
is
Yes?
very satisfied with herself.
Oh God.
All right. It's me to the rescue again. So I can make an area magically secure. Up to 100 feet on each side, like a cube. And sound can't pass through that.
I mean,
So-
that's pretty cool.
If we can... Casting the spell in the same spot every day for a year.
It took
makes
you
it quite
took you
permanent.
this long to tell us that?
Yeah, I have a lot of spells. Takes a
Does it
while
have
to
a
cycle
setup
through
time?
them all. Yeah, it takes 10 minutes.
Well,
I
they move
think-
pretty slow. So
But I think the problem is I have to be at the center of the area.
oh, but if we catch them on the edge.
Barry, can you make other people invisible? I know you can.
I can make you pretty not seen.
I know we can pass very sneakily, but literally invisible.
Checking. I don't think I can.
Also, if my concentration's broken, I think that's going to be a problem.
Well, if
Yeah,
they
same
can't
with
make
my
noise,
silence.
nobody's gonna come.
My silence is in a 20-foot radius. No sound goes in or out.
So, you invisibility go in there first, cast your silence, and then Callie comes and does the cone of silence for 1,000 feet.
No, it
Arcana
takes 10
magic?
minutes. And it takes 10 minutes to cast, and it's like an area. Like, it's like a private area. You block it off from the world.
I say,
But they
You just
can move
poison
out of
food.
it, right?
Yeah, they can move out of it.
And also, Biren, silence, I'm assuming, is magic, right? So they've got high magic resistance and possibly.
But I
Possibly
think
backfire.
that's as long as they're they're not 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It doesn't matter if they're anti-magic. The area around them is anti-magic.
ah,
I also-
would that be right,
the-
DM? In theory.
Can you say it again?
So like silence is a 20-foot radius. It's like maybe there's sound coming in their shell, but like it wouldn't escape, right? In theory.
Yeah, so silence makes everything within it just not make noise. But because it's an anti-magic shell and you don't know fully how it works, they might be able to dispel, they might be able to do other things. So
Gotcha.
you should make sure that you have a good plan.
So I have a backup plan.
is it poison the food spot?
Has anyone considered capturing them and breeding them?
That's
Oh.
actually a really. What if we befriend them?
I mean,
Well,
that's
that's
what
also-
I've been saying this whole time. I mean, like,
Wait
I
a
can
second,
talk to
I
him,
see-
and then we just kind of march him along, or put him on our back, or...
I'm good at making friends. I can do it.
Well, they're elementals, they're not beasts.
If only Tempe was here.
I don't know what that means.
So, remind me again, how big are these snails?
They are dog-sized.
So, what if I were to stone shape one around in a ball, basically a gigantic stone ball, and then carry that ball all the way back to camp?
That would be very heavy.
If you just
I'm
roll it back.
big.
You just roll it.
Wait, if we capture them and breed them, though, that would be. What if we just put like worms on strings and then slowly walk them back
Well,
all the
they're
way to camp?
probably, like, if they notice you, they're probably going to get defensive.
Defensive, but what if we have tasty?
Wait,
So what if we
Sorry, go ahead, Troy.
run in, just like tip them over real quick, and then they scream, and whatever they bring will kill them for us, and then we go collect the shells.
That's a good point, but then we got to Oh, I see what you're saying. Like the beast, when they scream, kills the actual thing.
Right. So I mean, whatever they attract may end up doing our work for us.
That's a good call. So we're just praying it doesn't come from the side that we're at.
You can just run in real fast, tip it over, and then run out.
The only thing that could go
I used to
wrong
do
is if
this
it's
with
more
other animals.
snails.
Callie has a similar spell to stone shape, but hers only lasts a minute.
Wait, can you guys turn into a snail?
Poofers gets low to the ground and
Oh no.
finds like a pillow and puts it on her back and starts snailing around the room.
Oh my god. You gotta go a little slower, Poopers.
Oh, okay. She starts to go really slow. This is agonizing. This is so hard to do.
I actually like Troy's idea. My only concern is if they scream and then they come from the area that we are at, they're gonna come to us first. So unless you can make us really, 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 really sneaky, and I'll be fine.
Well, I have pass without a trace. That gives us +10 on stealth. I mean, we can
Well,
we can
or
we
you
can
could
do the
just go
opening
push-
act, right?
Why don't you just go push it over and then dimension door out of there?
Right, but I'm saying wherever the spot that we're hiding from, you know, like if we're like hiding in this hallway, and that's the way that the people are coming from, they're gonna run into us. This is my concern.
Hmm.
I still think we should try and befriend the snails.
Okay.
They've
well,
never seen a tabaxi before.
how about
I don't know. I could be
You're
friendly.
already starting a brewery down here. You may as well just start breeding snails
Yeah.
too, right? Like
Snail
just make the
co-
whole
we
thing
could-
a business.
We could corner the snail market. Okay?
I
Let's
asked
do it.
Callie if she can make some poison.
Yeah.
Callie,
By the way, we don't even know what gender these snails are before you guys
What is-
get
For
the-
breeding.
We get 2 boy snails.
How
Ready?
do
Go.
snails reproduce?
All right, nose goes on artificially inseminating these beasts.
Some snails are hermaphrodites.
Perfect.
go.
We just
Means they
need 2.
we're golden.
Some,
That's
not
really-
all.
if we're going by this logic, then clearly we need to get some salt. That's all it means.
Welcome to Snail Hunting 101.
Okay.
No, in all honesty, let's just get some poison some worms, or paralyze the worms.
Paralyze is better. Let's do paralyze because then we can maybe able to breed them.
Right. So if we can paralyze them after they eat some worms or whatever it is that they're eating through the dirt, and they eat those, Barry can be invisible, drop them, bail. They'll eat the little thingies, and then they get paralyzed, and we carry them out.
Let's poison some snails. Come
Let's poison some snails.
Let's poison some
We got time to
snails.
kill.
So
All
you
right.
want a
on.
paralysis potion?
And snails.
Yeah, we want to paralyze the snails and then take them home.
Can we do this, Callie?
Okay,
Can you make stuff paralyzed?
I can, but I need the ingredients. But luckily, I know where to get some, and you can get them down here.
Oh God, here we go.
We just have to find and fight a basilisk.
Are there basilisks common in the underground?
Yeah, that's what
Are they
Let's go ask the
Are
captain
they-
if she has any
Do we-
the thing.
shells? Or what do we like? Basilisk
like scales
scales?
or eyes? Eyes work really well.
Let's go ask her.
How many do you need?
How many potions do you want?
I don't know. Is one paralysis potion gonna work on a snail?
One per snail, probably.
How many scales do you need for a potion?
Let's say we need the eyes and scales of one basilisk per potion.
Jesus, that's a big potion.
How
Let's just-
scary are
let's just
basilisks?
poison it.
Yeah, can we just kill it?
The basilisk?
You guys are
No,
thinking
the
so short term.
snail.
You need to think long-term economics. If we
I-
breed these bad boys, think of all the shells.
Right, but I don't want to come back down here.
Well, you won't have to. You could hire somebody to manage it.
What
for
if
you.
that?
That's what CEOs do.
You're assuming-
Economics.
It's a pyramid scheme.
I I think you're better off with your brewery, to be honest, than
I was gonna do both.
than hoping that these things are into each other enough to make more.
Welcome to Snails and Gimmicks. So let's just go, since we can't find a basilisk, because that's going to take it way too long.
Why don't
Can
we
we
just
just
find a snail
poison it?
mancer?
I mean,
Is that a real thing?
Is that a thing?
Okay.
Can you just make a poison potion? A really,
Yeah.
really strong, nobody touch it, one of those kind of potions. Can you just do that?
Odorless.
Wow.
Not
okay.
usually detected in autopsies.
Let me.
What you
Check.
do not smell is iocane powder.
If you drink it, it takes 3d6 poison damage.
You fall
And-
into my trap.
Okay, they are expensive.
But I mean, when we're talking poison, we're talking about like trying to make them sick or sleepy, not do
you trying
damage,
to-
right?
No, I want to just.
No,
let's just
we're trying to
it.
kill it.
Let's
Oh,
just
okay.
kill the damn
I mean,
snail.
yeah, that's fine. I just have a feeling 3d6 is not gonna be enough to kill this thing.
3d. Okay, so the potion that she can make, which is expensive, does 3d6 on consumption, and then they make a saving throw. And if they fail, they continue to take 1d6.
That is not
Not a
going to
lot.
kill one
No,
of those.
yeah, we want like a drop for an elephant kind of thing.
If you
Time
pay
for the
her,
magenta
Those are rookie
potion.
numbers.
if you pay her double the price, she can guarantee a potion that will kill it.
Oh,
How much
let's
is the
double
price?
the price.
They're normally 450.
Well, I think since we're
So
giving
if you can get, she knows you're full of shit, Magnus. If you give me here, I'll even make you a deal. Okay. These shells will sell for 10,000 total, right? If you give me 1,600 of that 10,000, I will make 2 potions and guarantee that they will die.
After we get the 10,000?
That's fine, but
But I thought you wanted the shells.
I mean, you're gonna sell them anyways.
Wait,
I
hold
will
on.
take
If you
one
make,
shell.
Wait. If you make potions out of the shells, can you sell all the potions you would make from one shell for more than what the shell would sell for?
Probably, yeah.
That makes sense to me.
All right.
So she sells seashells by the
By the seashore, yes,
Oh.
yes.
I want to change our title. I officially vote to change the title of the
Oh
tonight's stream.
God! All right, so here's my next thought with the follow-up. Say we make these potions, and we need to get these snails to then consume the potion somehow. Other than, wait, do they need to consume them or just touch it?
They need to consume them.
Okay, so even if we dip worms in it, one, I don't know if they eat dead worms, because I'm assuming the worms will die once it gets dipped into a deadly potion. And then 2, we got to find the snail also.
Can
We might not
inject
even
it?
find these snails.
I know. Inject it. Like, if I just dip my dagger in it and stab him with the dagger
Or an arrow.
or an arrow.
Ooh, that's not a bad idea. Because they go
Snail surgery.
into
It'll go
the
inside either way.
they go into their shells after they've been attacked. So if the first attack is successful,
If we can sneak up on them.
And their shells, they're anti-magic, but if it was a poison dipped arrow, that would just penetrate.
What if we just pour the poison in the shell when they retract into their shells?
They have to consume it. You don't know how. So you know that their shells are anti-magic. You don't know if the mucus on them is. You don't know if it's gonna absorb it through their skin or what. You have no idea how these creatures work.
I think we probably need to feed them.
Or we just go gamble.
You can just fight if you want.
I don't think we should fight. I think that's asking for problems, especially if we don't have a way to shut down their sound and stuff.
we
for
have
sure.
silence.
Or let's just
Yeah, but it might not work.
and go look for a new gem, and if we come across some snails, then great.
I don't know if we're gonna come. They're super rare. I think we got to go
Hey,
back to where they were
this-
and find them.
This might be a good time to test out our gem. See what the gem's all about.
But what if the gem does nothing?
I don't know. It's cold.
It'll look
It
nice on
is
my mantle.
quite cold. It's nice to sleep on. You know, it's like the cool side of the pillow all the time.
I mean,
Okay, I vote we poison the snails. I think that's the better option.
how are we gonna get the snails to eat the poison?
We find some live worms, then we poison the worms, throw the worms down where the snails are, and then hope that they eat them.
And we're only paying Callie back if this works.
Well, I
No.
think that Callie gets both of the shells, and then she will pay us our fair share of her potion profit.
Right. My point is if we go back down there and don't find the snails, we don't have to pay Callie.
No.
I will cover it if we don't find the snails.
1,600 gold.
I'll help with that.
I think wasn't it 900?
Yeah, but she was giving you a deal for 2.
Well, we still.
Okay.
Here's the other thing, though. We still do have some really strong elephant-killing potions if we don't find them anyways.
That's true. Those are nice to have.
That's true.
Those are a nice to have.
I have one of those in a vial already.
Is it
You don't
heroin?
know.
So
Just go invisible and throw that thing down its throat.
I could just do that.
Rub its
I mean-
belly.
Just saying.
Okay. I will pay you, Callie, and if you guys want to pitch in, let me know. My
Glad
hand is
you
1600.
understand.
Like
All
I
right.
said, I'll pitch in.
I'll watch.
How much?
Nice. Okay, so we go find the snails, and if we don't find them, do we want to see if we can find one of the other gems? I mean, there's still some down here, and we still have a couple days out from
I don't
Fight
know
Club.
if we should do that right now. We should just go for the snails and try and get out of it. I don't think we should go really fast because I think we might run into more than we can handle.
Question for the DM: Did you adjust combat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, especially because one of our clutch healers is out with.
Yeah, it's not just one person gone; it's our healer gone.
Yeah, I think of how last combat would have went without that one.
Yeah, that's not so great.
You would have probably maybe been okay.
Probably maybe it's totally convincing.
It's like 20% chance.
So let's kill some
Let's
snails.
poison
I am
some
psyched.
worms. Let's do
Let's
it.
kill some snails.
So to
I'm
clarify, the purpose of this mission is to find the snails, right? That's
Yes,
what you're trying to
Yes.
we're tracking some snails.
do. All right.
Troy,
Snail
let me see the map.
Callie
it's right here.
needs a few hours to brew.
I will use that time to look for some excellent worms. I
Did
know
we
what excellent
confirm-
worms are.
Did we
survival check,
confirm
please.
that's what they're eating?
No.
Well, they're eating something in the dirt.
It's a fair assumption. You can't know for sure though.
You know what I'm
We-
gonna do? I'm gonna find the worms, and then I'm also gonna scoop up the dirt around the worms in case they're eating like little microbes or something. It'll also be
All
in
right.
there.
I'm gonna go try to talk to Artorias.
Yeah,
Artoria.
probably a smart idea.
Artoria
Should've done
about
that, like,
these
step
bad boys.
Okay.
See what she knows.
Hoover's survival check for you, please. So you go find Artoria, and Clark the clerk is outside the tent, and he says, "You know, you guys bother her so much more than anyone else here."
Well, clearly we're way more productive than anybody else here. So
You know, such optimism is really refreshing. I'll just go get her. And he walks into the tent a few moments later. Artoria comes out. She's not wearing her armor for once, but she's in kind of just like official attire. And she says, "Oh, my favorite group again. What can I do for you today?"
well, we know how precious your time is. We just want to know.
It's so precious.
Yeah.
It's
We're only gonna take a short period of
priceless.
this time.
So we ran into a couple of these snails while we were on our way back, and wanted to know what you know about these particular creatures. They're about the size of dogs, yay high, look like a snail, and apparently they screech really loudly when they get scared.
Oh yeah,
You
we've run into a
are you-
couple.
aware of those creatures?
Yeah, they're good for potions, so a lot of the nerds upstairs ask for us to look for them. they're kind of a pain in the ass. So their defense mechanism is they will screech and emit very bright light, because bright light in kind of like a burst will scare off a lot of the Underdark creatures, whereas a kind of continuous light will attract them. That said, their defense mechanisms tend to draw curious creatures toward you. So if you stay around and fight the snails, or try to rather, they just kind of attract anyways. You're likely to get ambushed by something either on your way back or during your encounter with the snails. So they're a dangerous target for sure, but certainly a valuable one. I mean, if you're up for it, go for it, right?
Do you happen to know what they eat?
I can't say I know for sure. They're usually digging around in the dirt, but
Truffles. Maybe they're like truffles.
we have noticed that they're very sensitive. They've got excellent perceptive abilities, beyond just hearing and seeing, I think.
Almost like a sixth sense of, even if we are invisible or stealth.
Well,
Sounds like
invisibility
we have a pretty small chance.
typically won't help you much down here, because a lot of things can't see anyways. But they definitely can feel things in the ground, stuff like that. They will know you're coming if you approach them.
We're gonna have to ambush them.
I hold up the levitate potion.
You're gonna swim toward them.
I'm just saying, they're not feeling any motion if we're levitated.
Mission
All you
impossible.
do is you
Put
cast
the
darkness
poison.
on yourself, and then you have one of us push you across the cavern. You dump the worms when you get close, and then float off into the darkness like you weren't even there.
Golden.
Pretty standard.
Okay, Arturia, thank you so much. That helps us.
I look forward to seeing you again in 5 minutes.
Copy that.
It has been a day.
That's such a short time.
Poopers are
Later.
not there.
Oh, I didn't go. You said you guys. So.
No, you're searching for worms. What was your roll?
That's right. 17.
You find some juicy buggers.
All right. I put them in my bag, but I do not mix them with the other bugs. I keep them in their own separate little compartment with some
So you-
dirt. Keep them
Would
fresh.
we like to have one final discussion of our master plan here?
Yes.
Alright, so we're gonna poison some worms. How we're gonna do that is we're gonna dip these worms in the poison, somehow not vibrate the ground when we get to these snails that we have to still find, and then put these worms in their path somehow, hope they eat the worms, somehow disappear out before those snails see us and activate, and then wait till that period of time when the poison works on the snail, and then go in and get the snail in the snail shell. Is that it?
Easy.
Oh,
So you
and
wanna-
also not
You
get
want to
attacked on
levitate
our way
and fly
in.
in, right?
Not get attacked on our way in or our way out with these snail shells.
So yes, you should levitate, and as we do, we can tie one end of a rope to you to your foot. We'll
So it's just
push
gonna be a
you in,
random rope.
and then once you're done, we'll yank the rope.
And we have
Or,
who has invisibility rope? Who has the
We
last
could-
truth?
hold on, we could go ahead of the snails, bury the worms in the direction that they're moving, and then move out of the way.
I don't think we have the time for that.
If we're going slow, we'll be fine.
Yeah, you're moving sluggishly, remember?
This clearly the levitate part sounds way easier.
I like the
What if
levitate
we
part.
just-
I can
what
also
if we
put
just-
Blessing of a Trickster on you. You get advantage on your stealth check.
What if we silence and levitate the snail, and then just push it back?
Oh
to
my
town?
god,
Oh.
that sounds so much.
Except that was
easier.
our original plan, and they're immune to a lot of magic.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Well, yeah, you'd also have to feed the levitation potion to it.
Oh, hey, take this too, and I hand you I think it's a brown potion. I'm like, put that on the worms too. with
What does
the
that do?
poison. That's a tracking potion, so if the poison doesn't get them for some reason, then we can at least keep track of them.
Well, Callie guaranteed that it would die, right?
Yeah.
Callie?
Yeah.
Callie, do you think we need the tracking potion?
We probably should have put this tracking potion on them before we left them.
Well, they have to drink it, is the thing.
If
They have
you-
to consume it.
So it's not 100% necessary, but if you want to be like extra sure, then I mean, like, I guess.
And maybe if they don't die, they'll lead us to their little snail pups.
Or if you pour it on food and they don't eat all the food, and like the poison wears off or something, then other snails who find the food may eat it.
This is excellent. Let's do that.
Okay, so Poofers, recap the plan. What are we
Okay.
gonna do?
I'm not too keen on the levitation part, but everybody else seems to be, so we'll do that.
It's fun.
Okay.
I levitate all the time. It's great.
Oh, why don't
We
we
could
just
just
have
push
Callie do
Callie in.
this? Yeah, what
I don't
we
wanna
doing?
go in.
there. Hey, come on,
Yes.
Poison
That's
Master.
true. Yeah, but Magnus, you're the sneaky, scary one. So,
All right, can
and you have
Callie, can you
darkness.
cast levitate on me so I don't have to waste my potion?
No,
Oh, dang
she
it.
doesn't have that spell.
Okay.
You know who does
Okay.
have that spell? Tempest.
Damn it.
Callie,
Someone make the
yes,
call.
I can't.
Why did we bring Callie?
What? We need to bring Tempest every.
Last time on Dungeons and Dragons Ball Z, we spent 3 hours figuring out how to poison snails.
I've translated for you. I'm making poisons for you. Like, I'm not useless.
I
Come
was
on.
just joking, Callie.
Well,
I
we're
was just
getting
joking.
these shells for you.
Yeah, sure you are.
Okay, here's the plan. Here we go. So, first, we find the snails. From a distance, we got to see them in a room, not let them know we're here. Then, we poison the worms, including tracking potion. Then, Magnus casts darkness on himself, drinks the levitate potion, and we push him across the room where he dumps the worms right by the snails and continues to float off into the darkness. How does he get back? Barry dimension doors to him and pulls him back.
But you were attaching a rope that you're gonna.
The rope is a bad idea. They're just gonna see a rope and a floating ball of darkness.
Snails
I
are
think
looking
Barry
down.
should
They don't
just
see anything.
dimension door you back.
Well,
But if he dimension doors, he has to set foot on the ground.
I mean, the other thing that he could do is he could just kick off a wall back towards us.
That
you
makes
know.
noise.
Well,
I'm very sneaky.
yeah.
Yeah, they're very
What if you
perceptive.
just push? Just
I got some pink
face your-
paint if that helps.
Just turn around in the air and fart, and you go.
Hold on, I got this burrito. Hold on.
God, it's so useful.
Alternatively,
why
you
you
could just go.
They smell it and start screaming.
Oh, we could just feed it the
Wait.
burrito.
That was the
Yes!
plan
What
all
are
along.
you doing?
Okay, so how is he getting back? Our options are dimension door, but Barry, you can dimension door 400 feet, right?
Yeah,
So you
but
could dimension door to him and then dimension door back.
I
He
only
has
have
one
one
spell
shot.
I think, right?
Oh God. Okay, I guess it is a rope then. I guess we gotta do the rope, and hopefully they don't look up.
I mean, so
We
Okay,
could do a
here.
string. We could do like a
My-
piece of floss.
Poofers climb on Barry's shoulders and hold the rope up there, so it's it's above
That's
the
actually pretty smart. We should do that.
my darkness goes for 15 feet, so I have no idea where those snails
Cast
will
it on
be.
yourself.
So you'll have to
Oh, we'll have to tug on them.
you'll have to tug on the
Why-
rope sometime.
Can Baron not cast invisibility on you?
No, he can
I don't
only do it
think
on
so.
us.
No, we don't have any way to make him.
I think
Why don't
Let
we
me
just
see
make
if-
Barry drink
Callie
the
Why
has
don't we just have
invisibility.
Barry go?
Oh,
right?
Barry, you're pretty sneaky, right?
that we would need
Yeah.
a rope because he can just dimension door back.
Oh, there you go.
that is.
Perfect.
You're gonna make me
Perfect. There's the
dimension door
plan.
30 feet. Oh my god. Okay.
30 feet.
I'll be the biggest float in the parade, I guess. But I mean,
You'll be
Your
invisible.
dimension door, you're gonna have to cast it when you're like way farther past, though. Otherwise, they'll see the light. I assume it makes a light when you dimension door.
maybe.
So you're gonna have to float past until you're kind of like out in the distance, and then dimension door
It
back.
says
to
you
us.
just teleport. It doesn't say.
Oh,
that there's
great!
a
Even better.
visual effect. But
Perfect.
there is a verbal component to that spell.
Silence yourself.
Silence yourself.
He can't cast it if he's silenced.
No, he's got. What's the area of effect one?
Actually, in
If
silence.
he casts deafen
Holy
on
crap.
them,
It's a
and then he
snail.
can. He casts
You can't
deafen on the
cast.
snail.
We're not casting spells on them.
Oh,
though,
you're
'cause We
right.
don't know if they're gonna
Let's just
work.
go kill these goddamn snails.
We'll
But
Barry,
that's
you can
fine.
do it.
I'll levitate. That's fine. Just as long
Roy,
as you don't
you
make
have an
me
idea.
swim.
What is your idea?
No. Do you think the blunt force of a grappling hook would knock it unconscious?
Oh,
if it didn't see
No,
it coming?
no, this is not the plan.
Yes. Oh my god.
It can't scream if it's unconscious.
Yeah, except there are two of them.
If we, how about I just cast thaumaturgy on it? It'll get a dim bright light so that I'll attract everything like Troy was saying to it. They'll eat the thing. Chances are they're not going to eat the shell.
Wait, what
and
was
then-
wrong with our plan?
And then we leave with the shell.
So I think something that we need to keep in mind as well is what happens if they don't eat worms? We just wasted a bunch
That's
of...
why I grabbed the
That's what
stuff that
Worm
the
poison.
dirt and stuff that was around the worms. Hope that
Mm.
it works.
Okay.
We're assuming it's all the exact same everywhere in this place.
I've also been racking my brain. Is there any way we could incorporate an immovable rod into our plan?
Ooh.
Throw it,
Yes.
and then when
I
whoever's
have remote
levitating-
activation.
whoever's levitating can use that to push themselves off and go back.
There
What
you
if
go.
we... What if
But then
we...
you use the rod for a while.
What if we take the immovable rod and kind of jam it between the shell and its head so it can't go in?
Yes.
Oh
What
my
about the
God.
second one?
The second
if we
one.
can, if we
Screw
can
the
jam
second
its
one.
skull
We'll take
to its
this one.
mouth, it can't make a sound.
Except they both scream.
Silence.
guys
We
gotta
use
do quick.
silence.
Okay, let's just go with the levitating worm plan. I feel like that's our best bet.
Keep
Okay?
that...
We've decided. I
All right,
hang a
that's fine.
gavel. It's over. Here we go. We're on
All
our
right.
way
To the worms?
to the worm spot.
Wait, shoot. Let me see the map. What?
Here's
What?
the map.
What the hell? This looks like a 2-year-old.
What?
Why is this
You
a
drew the map
crayon?
so
I am I am a skilled cartographer, sir.
God. We should have made. I mean, the way this looks, we should have just gave it to Poofers and have her make an X.
I'm pretty good at drawing.
It was an 11. It wasn't that bad.
I know, but still.
It's a cap. There's not like there's all that many ways to go.
You're right. It's in a cave. I cleared
Right.
it up.
You guys, after tremendous discussion, thorough planning, this is the heist of the century. You put more thought into this than the heist I actually prepared. Both heists I actually prepared.
Those ones are easy. Run in, grab the thing, get out.
All right. You arrive at this cavern. Actually, we need to track it first. I need survival checks with disadvantage from everyone because it's dark and black and white.
11.
9.
Uh, 14.
$19.
Nice.
What?
God.
With
Attaboy.
disadvantage?
I
Holy
rolled
crap.
a 15 and an 18.
Oh, so
You're
15.
carrying the team.
Well, 15 plus
Nice.
I got 4 on survival, so
Luckily, Callie also rolled pretty high to counteract the lower rolls. So with a considerable amount of difficulty, I'm telling this takes hours to move through these caverns and follow the very subtle movements of
Super.
these snails.
Sneakily.
There you go. I moved the map on roll 20. You can drag your tokens in. You're coming in from the southwestern part. And there are 2 snails.
Guys. Guys.
Do they make
there they are.
noise?
Okay.
Callie hands someone the potions, I guess. The poisons.
So wait. Wait. Have we already poisoned the snail or the worms yet?
We should do it right now. I dip the worms and the dirt in the poison and in the attracting potion very carefully.
Okay.
Do the worms die? Bless you.
You haven't fed them yet.
Did.
Okay.
Oh, the
So
snails.
Who's
Yeah.
going?
if we,
Barry's gonna go.
so he's gonna cast levitate on himself and invisibility on himself, right? This is the plan. And then
How is he casting levitate on himself?
I thought he had that.
Potion. We have a potion.
Those are both concentration spells.
Hmm.
Well,
Callie can cast invisibility on you if you'd like.
Oh, okay, do that.
no, I mean that's fine. I'll take that. Better than me losing a spell slot, but yeah, I
Oh,
can
but
do
then
it.
no, but then we could just send Magnus.
But they're both concentration spells.
Oh, if you guys just
Not
both
one of
cast
them.
it to me, then I can just go.
It does. Anytime you cast invisibility, even if it's a racial trait, it's still concentration.
Yeah, you guys. Callie can cast invisibility on Magnus, and Barry can cast levitate.
And I'll still go stealthily. And I think we'll. How far is that? So,
And Barry, so he could dimension door himself out. Barry's got to go.
well, you don't even have to do that. We'll just feed it to him, and I'll just hang out there floating.
They don't die.
It's all
Unless
the.
you're stuck there forever.
It's
We
basically.
don't
the
know how long it'll take them to
It's
die.
basically the drop and float. So,
Just sneeze.
It's a
Callie, by the
flyby.
way, how long does this poison take?
I don't know, anywhere from 1 to 10 minutes probably.
You stay. I think we should send Barry with dimension door. I really do.
So,
Anywhere from 1 to 10 minutes. That's not very specific.
I
Well,
know.
there's a lot of different creatures in this world, Troy. Maybe you should chase test it.
so okay. So cast invisibility or cast levitate on me first. Let's do this intelligently. Cast levitate on me first. And then how high is this cavern, by the way? Am I just gonna float forever?
You don't. So the way levitate works is you have no friction whatsoever. You can't move unless you have an external force on you,
Well,
or if
does
you
it
push up with something.
is
you
it
go
like
up.
helium? Like, do I just keep going up?
No, you stay in like one area.
Okay.
Unless you get pushed up.
Okay. So we're gonna assume I'm like a couple feet off the ground.
Sure.
Okay, hold on. I got this. And I hand you my immovable rod. And I say,
Wait,
Gonna-
wait
I'm
a
gonna be
second.
very upset. Okay, I'm gonna be
Literally
very upset if
anybody
we
could be
lose this.
doing this. Just so we're
You
clear.
carry the invisible or the immovable rod, and then when you drop the worms, and then when you want to switch directions, you click the rod so it stops you, and you can push off it and go back the other way.
And
I
then we
just
go
lose
get the rod
immovable
like 10 minutes later.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Will the rod be invisible also though?
No.
So it's just gonna be a floating
It will
rod.
be while you are holding it, not when you let go of it.
I don't know why they would suddenly look up that high and notice a dark rod in a dark room.
Can't believe you've been arguing over snails for 2 hours.
So I don't need the rod at all because I'm just gonna hit the side, kind of probably bonk my head a little bit, and then
That's gonna make a big noise.
okay, all right, give me the rod.
Plus,
me your
if things start to go south, then you can do the little, like lock winch thing on one of their heads, you know?
There you
And
go. Yes, I like it.
Backup
All right.
plan.
So here's the plan: levitate me, hand me the rod, put me invisible, and I also need the worms and the poison.
Got your hands full.
Foolproof.
Okay. I hand you. Oh, I'm like Troy, napkin,
Napkin.
and I put the worms
I knew this would come in
stuff
handy.
in the napkin, and I like put it in a little, like I kind of hold it up,
You guys
doggy
need like
bag.
custom embroidered handkerchiefs.
and I give it to Magnus. I'm like,
All
be
right.
very careful.
All right. So
All right, Magnus,
levitate.
I want a stealth check, and I want a acrobatics check, and I want a sleight of hand check.
Oh my god. All right.
And I'm gonna cast Pass Without a Trace. So all of us have plus 10 stealth.
All right. So that's 10. So 23, 33 to stealth. And then, oh god, what was it? What else?
Pass without trace is also concentration, if that matters.
I mean, that's the only one I'm using right now.
Acrobatics. So
Acro-
use a levitate potion then. And Callie's invisibility, right?
Okay. So I drink potion.
All right.
All right, guys. I
Barry
only have
doesn't
2
even
hours.
have levitate spell, so he has to use
Oh, okay.
potion.
Great.
Acrobatics and sleight of hand.
All right. So my acrobatics is 15, and my sleight of hand is natural 20.
All right. So you, the air is still. Everyone is holding their breath as Magnus invisibly swims across this cavern toward the snails. They are still kind of like digging in the dirt at whatever they were doing previously. As you get closer, you see they have like 5 different like sensory tentacles. 2 of them have eyes.
Oh god.
And the others just seem to kind of like, like twitch a little bit as they're sensing for something. You get close, you're like really close over them, like a few inches. You're like sucking in your gut just in case. Before you reach over and carefully, are you placing it down or are you like sprinkling?
I'm gonna just a little sprinkle.
Okay. sprinkle it down. And the kind of like worms are already dead from the poison. And various dirt particles or whatever. And then you wait over there, and the snails kind of like begin to, they like stand up for a second and seem to like try and like look around, and then let their guard down and kind of like dig around in the dirt a little bit more, and slowly move toward where you deposit all that stuff. And begin to pick at the dirt that you just placed.
Yes!
Let's see their saving throws.
And then,
A 2 and a 4.
yeah, I
So-
pop right when I get into this little cove area. I pop the rod so it stops me,
Okay,
and
perfect.
I'm just hanging from the rod.
Okay, so you watch them eat this, and then they kind of start to like twitch a little bit after a few minutes before kind of like sizzling, and then they just kind of like fall peacefully and are still.
Did
Oh
we
my
just
God.
do this?
I can't believe this.
So
So there's a
perfect.
problem though. Is there a way to make me not levitate anymore? Because I'm levitating for 2 hours after this potion.
It's okay, I'll
Just-
try and string you and
just
carry you
enjoy it.
around like a balloon.
Oh no.
I hand Poofer some
An
rope.
apt
I
reward.
push off with the rod and then click the button so I fly back.
Yeah, I'd like to crawl up and like look and see if they're dead.
Poke them a little bit.
Yeah,
they
with
they
the
seem
stick.
they seem dead.
Guys, we did it!
Oh my god.
Wait,
Magnus, you did it!
I can't believe this worked. I mean,
seem
I totally
dead.
knew this was gonna work.
do we want to make sure that they're dead?
I poked him with the stick.
Guys wanna see a dead body?
Like, so if we're halfway back and they are just like really unconscious,
They're just playing dead.
It's a defense
Like-
mechanism.
Yeah,
They're not
Snails do
possum.
that, all right.
They're
they could.
snails.
Yeah.
All right, Troy goes for their throats.
Okay, you come up
Snail
and
throats.
slit their snail throats, and goo starts to pour out of them. Smells
Wow.
I
Holy
can't believe
crap.
this worked.
This is awesome. All right.
Callie, you got your snail shells.
She's like already over there, like embracing them like peaches.
Okay, I'd like to look around for little snail eggs.
Okay, survival.
Do snails lay eggs?
And this
that-
is something I will use my inspiration on if it's low.
Okay.
18. Take an 18.
Not just the snail men, but the snail women and the snail children.
High or low?
Low.
You find buried in a corner
Oh my gosh.
one like white pellet, but it looks damaged.
Does it look like alive or like?
You have no way of knowing.
Oh, I take it. I wanted to, so I could breed them, but I'll take one. I wrap it in like I grab some of the goo from the snails and I kind of like spread it on the egg, and then I wrap it in. Oh no, I can't wrap it in the poison napkin.
Even the blood of your
does anybody
parents.
have
Wrapped in
another
its
napkin?
Dead body.
I need a second napkin.
Yes, and I wrap it in the napkin and I put it in my bag.
All right. Let's take a break here so I can eat dinner.
Oh man.
Troy
Okay.
didn't like the beer, but the bar had decent napkins.
Perfect.
You also got coasters.
All right, we'll be back then. See you soon.
Hold tight. Hold tight. If you wanna make this feeling stay, hold tight. Hold tight. Don't let this moment fade away. Hold tight. Now tears gonna stay. Everybody gets the chance someday. All at once at last, you think you've got it made. Not a word that anyone can say that can change the way you feel. 'Cause you know that love is real. You can choose with whom you fall in love. a chance that you might lose. Gonna try, and that's the best that I can do. Hold tight. If you wanna make this feeling stay, hold tight. Hold tight. Don't let this moment fade away. Hold tight. Now tears gonna stay. Hold tight. If you wanna make this feeling stay, hold tight. Hold tight. Don't let this moment fade away. Hold tight. Now tears gonna stay. You can do just anything you want. You can help yourself to anything that's mine. Take it easy when there's no one else. Got to get it right this time. Gonna try to make love shine. Everybody gets the chance someday. You just take it when the moment comes along. There's nothing you can say. There's nothing you can do when you find the eyes of love are set on you. Hold tight. If you wanna make this feeling stay, hold tight. Hold tight. Don't let this moment fade away. Hold tight. Now tears gonna stay. Now's the moment of a lifetime, and it's here for you. Come on, baby, it's time to make a place now, everybody. Got to let us through. Got a dream to catch tonight, it might come true. Hold tight. Hold tight. If you wanna make this feeling stay, hold tight. Hold tight. Don't let this moment fade away. Hold tight. Now tears gonna stay. Hold tight. Hold tight. Hold tight. If you wanna make this feeling stay, hold tight. Hold tight. Don't let this moment fade away. Hold tight. Now tears gonna stay. Everybody gets the chance someday. All at once at last you think you've got it made. Not a word that anyone can say that can change the way you feel. 'Cause you know that love is real. You can choose with whom you fall in love. Anybody, any moment, anywhere. 'Cause no matter who you choose, there's a chance that you might lose. Gonna try, and that's the best that I can do. Hold tight. If you wanna make this feeling stay, hold tight. Hold tight. Don't let this moment fade away. Hold tight. Now tears gonna stay. Hold tight. there's no one else. Got to get it right this time. Gonna try to make love shine. Everybody gets the chance someday. You just take it when the moment comes along. There's nothing you can say. There's nothing you can do when you find the eyes of love are set on you. Hold tight. If you wanna make this feeling stay, hold tight. Hold tight. Don't let this moment fade away. Hold tight. Now tears gonna stay. Now's the moment of a lifetime, and it's here for you. Come on, baby, it's time to make a place now, everybody. Got to let us through. Got a dream to catch tonight, it might come true. Hold tight. Hold tight. If you wanna make this feeling stay, hold tight. Hold tight. Don't let this moment fade away. Hold tight. Now tears gonna stay. Hold tight. Hold tight. Hold tight. If you wanna make this feeling stay, hold tight. Hold tight. Don't let this moment fade away. Hold tight. Now tears gonna stay. Everybody gets the chance someday. All at once at last you think you've got it made. Not a word that anyone can say that can change the way you feel. 'Cause you know that love is real. You can choose with whom you fall in love. Anybody, any moment, anywhere. 'Cause no matter who you choose, there's a chance that you might lose. Gonna try, and that's the best that I can do. Hold tight. If you wanna make this feeling stay, hold tight. Hold tight. Don't let this moment fade away. Hold tight. Now tears gonna stay. Hold tight. If you wanna make this feeling stay, hold tight. Hold tight. Don't let this moment fade away. Hold tight. Now tears gonna stay. You can do just anything you want. You can help yourself to anything that's mine. Take it easy when there's no one else. Got to get it right this time. Gonna try to make love shine. Everybody gets the chance someday. You just take.
Welcome back. We're back with snails, dead snails, and a baby snail.
Hey, maybe baby snail.
Maybe, baby.
Maybe, baby.
Baby, baby.
You have executed a plan with such competency that I would have never expected.
We never expected. I can't believe this went so well, guys. Okay, I would like to, while we're still here, look around the cavern for any of that red stuff. The currency.
No, I'm not giving you more right now.
Okay, it was worth a shot.
Yeah.
I guess we should take off and go back to camp now.
Okay.
And then probably wait for Imby.
Cool. Make it back to camp. Do you make it back to camp? You're moving slower because you're carrying heavy snail. Are you bringing the snail bodies or just the...
Yeah,
I
sure.
think just, we want to bring the whole snail, not
I mean,
just the shell.
do we have the ability to? I mean, I
To
suppose we got like a
harvest.
woodsman, and I'm from the forest. I mean, like, yeah, can we take the meat out?
You can just like... and then...
That's
like,
totally how snails work.
Just shake the shell and
No, you like scoop
it
it
out.
up. No, scoop it up, and then you can like go, like it's a bowl, you can go make soup with the snail meat in it. If you want to bring the snail meat.
I
Prime
feel
snail
like
meat.
we
But
should
it was poison, so...
Do we
Tainted
want to
snail
bring
meat.
the whole snail or just the lighter shell?
just the shells. Just
Yeah.
Okay, so we gotta harvest these
Okay,
shells.
so Callie turns it over so it's shells on the ground, and then says, Poopers, take your sword and like mince it up, and then we can like dump it out.
I make snail mash.
Do it, it works. Just as she said. And she said, careful not to damage the shell, like don't be too forceful though.
Okay, very tenderly, I mash the snail to bits.
And you dump it out, and you have relatively clean snail shells.
I put one on my back, and then snail around the room a little bit.
Still a little gooey.
That's okay. It helps.
so.
So we're
Yes,
going back.
I'm floating, so I need somebody to pull me.
Oh yeah, I stop snailing and I tie a rope to your foot and I balloon you around and I grab my immovable
So
rod.
I'm going backwards.
Watch the rear, Magnus.
Oh god.
Alright, you guys do make it back to camp without incident. Though along the way, a few of you maybe. As usual, Biren hears some footsteps that seem like they are following you for a few minutes, but they die off after a while. Make it back to camp and have 2 gooey shells. And
I think we should try and be stealthy bringing this back to our tent.
Yeah. Probably a good call.
Cover the snail shells as best we can with cloaks and things and then bring them into our tent.
Alright, you do that fairly easily.
I pull real Magnus into the tent.
It's for sure been 2 hours. Tell me I'm walking now.
Nah, I don't want you flying.
So
This is an extra potent potion.
Yeah, it was really good. It was empowered.
So Callie, what's the plans with these things now?
Well, we're gonna have to bring them back up to the surface to my shop, and then I can make some goods with them, and then I will sell those goods, and then give you guys the profit besides what you owe me for the poisons.
Okay.
Good, bad?
Get you for the poisons already.
Sounds like a thing.
Okay, well, she will just give you the profit then.
Okay, cool. Now we wait. I just want to rest here. I don't want to go back out into the caves before Imby gets here. I feel like
How
we should
much time
quit
do we
while
got?
we're ahead.
How much time do we got?
He will be there like 10 hours or less. Probably.
Just want to rest up.
You can just hang around. I mean, like an 8-hour rest plus hanging around camp for a couple hours.
Down for that.
Alright.
Yeah.
So you guys wait around, chill, get extra rested, some much needed R&R. Poor Aravir is sick as a dog. It's absolutely inconsolable. Before the quote-unquote morning, you receive a transmission. Let's say Biren receives it. It is from Imbros, and he just says, I've arrived at the encampment. Which tent is yours?
Oh,
Imbros.
it's the one that says stop on it. Just ignore that and go.
Hard to
Oh,
miss.
sorry, I didn't see that. I was typing or hear that.
I mean, that was very poopers-ish, but how do we have a sign on our tent? I feel like we should have a sign.
We
on
do
our
it
tent.
to stop.
Oh, that's right. Yes. There's this 8-sided sign that you'll see. It says something on it. It's red. You'll see it right away.
Okay. About 5 minutes later, you hear some footsteps arrive outside the door and see like a shadow underneath the tent flap, and there seems to be like hesitation, and then there's like an indent into the tent flap.
Just kick it in. It's fine. Just go for it.
He lifts the tent flap and enters. And Ambrose is before you. He looks very different from normal. He's typically very composed and comfortable in his little lair. And he looks abundantly uncomfortable to be out of that layer and in the Underdark specifically. He's wearing a cloak that covers his long silver hair. And for the first time, like, he seems nervous. Like, he seems to have kind of semblance of humanity and emotion, whereas he is not before at all. And kind of like looks at each of you in turn with his one functional eye. And kind of like mutters an uncomfortable greeting of like, good to see you.
Hoofers goes up to his leg and hugs it.
He like stiffens up and feels horribly uncomfortable.
That's okay. Imby. Hello. Why are you here?
I've come to translate some of the information you requested regarding the history of this place, as well as the gems that you mentioned you had.
Oh yeah, this thing. And I hold up my sword.
He kind of like leans back away from it. Says, "It's quite all right. I don't need to see it closely. Do you have a? Is this place okay to talk?"
Why are you so
Yes.
afraid of it?
Um.
I'm up here, by the way.
Wow, that is a very strong potion to last 12 hours.
It's very impressive.
My eyes are up here. Thank you.
So he says, "We'll get to that in due time." We'll say that there's like a table in your tent to kind of sit around and talk. So he sits down and kind of like waits for everyone to gather before looking around in turn, making sure you're all ready, waiting for everyone to sit down and be present and listen. There we go. And he begins his story. Says, "Feel free to ask questions along the way as needed. Long ago in this sort of region, this is kind of the farther reaches of the kingdom, there was a city of Drow, whose territory was encroached upon by dwarves pursuing expansion of their own cities. The then queen was deemed too weak to avoid the invasion of the dwarves and was deposed and replaced by another Lady Drow, who proclaimed to be the daughter of Lolth, the god which all Drow worshipped. The old queen was overthrown and the new took her place and initiated a very bloody war between the dwarves and the Drow, primarily or partially to defend their territory, but primarily to bless Lolth's name with victory. But as the dwarves continued to push forward, the Drow found themselves more and more unprepared to resist the invasion. And the queen turned to darker magics to prevent the loss of her land and the smearing of her goddess's name. And as the need grew more drastic, so did her methods. The end of that story is the corruption both of that city and of the dwarves, and the loss of entire civilizations. Now, where the gems come into play is they are sort of components that contain power which can expand upon the potency of spells. My master has a particular interest in these and the effect that they can... Oh, my cat jumped on the desk, that scared me. My master has a particular interest in these gems as well as the effect that they might have. He is prepared to offer you a reward if you should collect these gems and face what they might awaken.
Oh gosh. Oh, that sounds scary.
What might they awaken?
It is suspected that Lolth herself is intending to have these crystals collected to reawaken the Mad Queen, and use their power in addition to the sacrificed souls that still wander this realm in order to empower herself to resist the oncoming ruin. My master believes, while this would be certainly an interesting development, altogether it would be unfavorable.
Are we aware of how many gems she requires?
According to my master, there are 8 in total.
And
Well, we got 2, and we know where 1 is. Belongs to the
It's
big scary
likely-
night guy.
we have
It's
like
likely that several lie in the ruins of the city as well.
Oh, the dwarf city that got corrupted?
It
That
was
one?
a city of drow adjacent to a dwarven thaig.
I see.
Does any of this help mitigate the incoming ruin that we think is going to happen?
I can't say for sure, but my master has reason to believe that the resolution of this will point you in the direction of the next artifact, and he is willing to personally offer a reward to you as well.
Ooh. Well, I mean, I think we're planning on trying to get most of these stones anyway.
I mean, they're worth a lot of health pots.
They're worth a lot of health potions.
I'm sorry. One thing though, Imbros, remind us again who your master is.
He goes by many names, but let's call him the Watcher for now. He's interested in the collection of knowledge. Anything else is deemed insignificant.
So if we collect all these gems, we summon the spider goddess and gotta
It's
defeat her.
pronounced spider.
The spider.
It is likely that you finding these gems, and more than one, in fact, is no coincidence. She is likely influencing your work here. She wants the gems to reunite.
I mean, then we kind of want the same thing, right? So we
And
can work
we're-
together at least for that.
Can we assume that we're gonna summon her after these gems are together, right? That's like the whole idea. And maybe prior to that happening, we could be significantly prepared for her to be resummoned.
Facing off against the resurrected
Spider.
Mad Queen, which will be the vessel of Lolth, is not going to be a small task.
Question.
I mean, we did fight some giant thing in a cave, or not a cave. What was it? A canyon? We did fight something in a canyon.
Yeah, but we didn't kill it. We just pushed it through a portal.
Right. So
Push it
This
through
will
another
be-
portal.
This will be one of the gods of the divine court empowered beyond.
Poofers,
divinity.
Poofers is befriended a god that we fought earlier.
That's true,
Who
he
threw
is
me down
my
a
friend.
hole. That guy's kind of a dick,
Mhm.
but Poofers does talk to him a lot.
I do. But I guess my question is, I don't think that we can usually do that much against gods. So how do we beat, I mean, except for Doppio. But how do we beat this spider person?
I don't think Salt.
The
can
way
work on this one.
this ritual proceeds is the gems are collected and the Mad Queen resurrected. Once she is able to perform a ritual, she will become a sort of sacrificial vessel that can collect the wandering spirits of those sacrificed in the past, which will be used to feed Lolth.
Do we know if, sorry to interrupt it, but do we know if, like, as soon as the gems come together, she becomes summoned, or is there a ritual? Like, do we need to keep them apart while we're doing this?
Do we chant?
Right?
The collection of the gems is what will summon, or is what will trigger the resurrection of the Mad Queen. They'll be consumed upon their unification.
So they need to all come together prior to her being summoned. So if we have them all in the same pocket, is she going to get summoned?
No, there is a altar in the city where they need to be placed.
Okay.
Okay. So if she collects all these souls, then I assume she becomes really powerful. But if she doesn't collect the souls, then we can beat her.
You will have to interrupt her ritual, essentially.
Just out of curiosity, if we don't resummon her and then we just keep a couple gems away so she can never get resummoned, doesn't that solve the problem?
She will send many people after you.
Then maybe we should.
We already had some of those.
I mean, do we try and send one back to Redcliffe? At least it probably has the best chance with the wardens.
Lolth is one of the most ruthless gods and one of the most powerful. She will find a way to get these gems together.
So you're saying we might as well put them together before she destroys everything to then destroy her.
The reason they should be united is that she can be destroyed before the goddess is actually fed the souls of the lost.
So if we know
and
what's
also the
going to
reward.
happen, we can stop it.
If others were to reunite the gems, they likely would do nothing to stop this. In fact, they would probably encourage it.
Are we aware of this god, by the way?
There are tiers of gods. There are like lesser gods that don't have a lot of worshippers, and the most powerful gods, the ones that have like worship all over the world, are those on the Divine Court. Saloon is on the Divine Court. She's actually the queen of it, and Lolth is older than Saloon and is also on the court.
So we'd be aware of Wolf.
Yes, you would have heard of her.
Okay. Do we know that? I'm assuming that she has a lot of followers then, so would we have a pretty good understanding about what she's about and motives and that kind of stuff?
Lolth is she's the queen goddess of the drow and the spiders. All of the Underdark worships her, as well as many on the surface. She's sort of a goddess to those who have strayed from the light. Gods are not all good, they're not all lawful. Many are evil.
I'm getting Hades vibes.
She's not the goddess of the underworld, that's a different one.
But you know what I mean.
Okay.
She's
So,
not good.
You're telling me we need to put these together to summon a spider queen who's going to try to summon the god.
Resurrecting the queen will allow the resurrected queen to trigger a ritual to channel the souls of the dead to Lolth.
So we got to stop it at that point.
Why don't we want the souls of the dead to go to Wolf?
This will allow her to become superior to any other god on the court, as really probably the most powerful god, secondary only to those of primal blood.
And currently Saloon is the most powerful.
Saloon and Pelor are on equal terms.
So I think
Did
we
they
want to
love each
avoid
other?
that. I think if
if we just break
Aravir
it
hadn't
down?
had that bean burrito, I think she'd probably be saying this is bad.
Right. Well, my thing is what if we just destroy a gem? Then none of it can be together.
These are indestructible.
Oh, that's good to
course.
know.
Yeah.
Didn't try
I
to
try
Time
destroy
to use
one.
these.
I try and break the gem as best as I can.
I feel like Poofers is biting it.
I am
It
biting it.
absolutely-
I'm smashing it.
This has been a canonical trait of these gems that nobody tested. They are
Well, we
divinely
don't wanna
protected.
smash it.
So
Oh man. So okay, I have a question for you. So when Barry uses this gem, it feels like his spells are better, and then we met this big guy with one in his shield who hasn't been defeated for like 15 years that we're gonna have to beat, and he seems real strong. Do these make you stronger?
only if you have the potency to wield them. For one, you must be a worshiper of Lolth and
Ah, hey,
trusted.
Barry isn't a worshiper.
No, she is very likely taking advantage of his connection to the divine in order to lead you to more of the gems.
So, is there a way to harness the power of these gems to then not only continue to find the gems, but to, stop anybody that gets in front of us?
I have no doubt that she will continue to lead you to gems as long as you prove useful in this matter. If someone else stronger comes along, she will likely do what she can to put the gems in their possession. Only if she chooses so can you wield the power of the gems against anyone.
So holding this icy gem that Poofers has doesn't make Poofer's sword all icy, unless she decides it.
Correct.
Got it. Well, I mean, I don't
We
like.
have a plan.
So here's a thought. Do we maybe want to? Should we keep? If all the gems need to be together, should we keep them all, or should we currently separate them in case we get ambushed? Because if we get ambushed and we have, say we have 6 out of the 8 gems and we get attacked, now somebody has 6 gems. Should we separate them with people that we trust until we're at that point?
That
Or
is your preference.
Or do we think it's smarter to keep them all with us because we're the strongest? I mean, I'm the strongest of the sultry 6, but that's fine.
Should you separate the crystals, there is more of an opportunity for Lolth to put them in the hands of someone unsavory.
Yeah, but not
Rudolph?
stronger though.
I would also say that if Lilith thinks we're not up for the task, we may lose the ability for me to track them.
Also, I'm surprised you haven't asked about this, Magnus. I heard tale of a reward.
I did ask that, but not about the reward yet.
Should you be able to stop this ritual from proceeding, my master will answer one question for you.
Any question?
Any question.
From, like, collectively as a group or each of one of us?
One question total.
That
We're
that
gonna
doesn't
fight
sound
over
like that.
We're
doesn't
gonna
sound
fight
like a
over that
reward.
one.
But he has all knowledge available since he's been around.
Which means he has the knowledge of a lot of gold.
Or how
Find
to
us the
save
big pile
the
of gold.
universe.
Hey, I mean, the person. If we've learned anything, the person with the most money is the most safe.
Is the person with the most money? I don't think so.
We can ask the Watcher that question when we find out.
We should think about what question to ask him, though. If we're successful, we shouldn't just leave that for the last minute.
So yeah, but we still have to find 6 more of these gems, and that's if we don't die finding the gems. And then when we find the gems, we have to kill like one of the most powerful people ever, while she's summoning a more powerful person to come and basically kill everybody anyway.
Well, Loth probably won't kill everyone. That's not her goal. She needs worshippers to exist.
Right, but she'll kill everybody else that's worshipping other people. If you would think
don't
that,
think
right?
I think that if everyone on the Divine Court went up against her, she probably would lose.
So there's
It's
no
not
risk.
it's my master is interested to see what she would become, but he is more interested in preventing her survival of the ruin, because she would dominate the new world with this power and prevent any sort of new knowledge or new pursuits in that world.
So she would just let the ruin happen.
Correct. Her goal is to survive the ruin, whereas other gods cannot.
She's switching from the Spider Queen to the Cockroach Queen.
I don't understand this joke. Is this what you call a joke?
Can you poison a spider like we poisoned worms?
Do spiders eat worms?
Do
We don't
snails
have a lot
eat
of
spiders?
tricks.
He just looks really confused.
Does an immovable rod work for gods?
To clarify, you are not fighting a god, you are fighting a vessel that will be empowering a
Right.
god.
So if we sharpen the edge of an immovable rod, put it through their hand so they can't do the summoning spell, then we're safe.
He looks entirely unamused.
We're gonna have to figure this one out when we get there. Okay, Ambi. Well, that's it sounds like a quest. That's what this sounds like. We've got a reward, we've got a goal, we know how to get there, we know what to do when we get there. So I think we just need to do it.
Have you any idea of where any more of these stones would be?
It's likely that they lie within or near the city that was ruined.
Which
Have to go
is
to
the
Scary
city next
City.
to us?
No, it would
No, that's
be
a town.
deeper in the caverns.
Balls.
Is the city somewhere that's explored frequently by the wardens, or have they not gotten there?
I doubt they have reached this place, or someone would have come across the gems already.
You think we could pay somebody in this town to escort us there?
I have no knowledge of the workings of the stone.
As a general consensus to
Maybe
the
we
group?
should talk to the captain about that. If the captain knows that we're going to the city, I'm sure she knows of the city and is wanting to find it. Maybe she can help us with an escort.
I
think
will
it-
tell you that if it comes into her knowledge that you were working for my master, she will refuse to help you.
Oh, that's right. She doesn't like you.
How long are we even supposed to be in this cavern? Do you remember? How long have we been in, and how much longer do we have?
You've been in for, I think, over a week, and there is no time limit.
Oh,
You can
so
leave if you want.
I think
Yeah,
they just have frequent
like-
expeditions down here, and like this camp just rotates people out.
okay, so like the whole camp doesn't just leave.
No, the camp's always here.
Okay. Well, I have a couple questions. Love some answers. One, we had to fight a Hydra, which sucked. Through all of your extensive research, do we have any kind of map that can lead us to the city?
It's been lost for centuries. I
Great.
doubt that anything.
We can probably
So-
use Barry's location to find the gems, which will lead us to the city, though.
So we're assuming the city exists.
The city does exist.
Still. After the destruction and all this stuff.
If the altar didn't exist in usable form, Loth wouldn't pursue this form of empowerment.
Okay. And so we're heading into the cave to go find a city that no one knows where it is. Into darkness where nobody could really see. To fight things that probably we haven't even encountered yet, including the stuff that we've already encountered. For gems that we aren't even sure are there.
No, the gems are there.
Or where we are. And with no way to get out of this cavern if we lose our location.
Yes. But the rewards
So-
are great.
So
You get-
small chance of a success, high chance of probability of death. What are we waiting for?
The rewards are great. Not only, I'm sure
The
the rewards
question.
will reward you. You get the question. Anything in the universe, you get the answer to. And I can almost guarantee it will point you to the next artifact, if not be a component of it.
Just so we're clear, I want like general status in the wardens.
I have no power for that.
Yeah, have we been promoted at all?
That's totally
Or are we still privates?
Well, I haven't thought that much about it. I'm sorry.
We're gonna
Actually,
progress.
You gain like reputation, so you're pretty well known right now because you've handled 2 artifacts. 2 and a
Well,
half.
like one,
That's pretty
yeah,
cool.
like 1.5.
1.5. But if you pull this off and are able to get the knowledge of the next artifact, the wardens will likely pay you a lot of money.
That's what we wanted to hear.
Oh my god.
Should have
And
opened
you
with
gain more
that.
repute. So, there's a lot at stake, but there's also very, very high rewards. And I will tell you, this question is worth a lot of money.
Yeah, we could sell the question.
Ooh.
We could sell the question for a lot of money.
Or, just throwing it out here, you have a gem and Erebir has a gem. I call dibs on the second or the
The
third gem.
gems disappear when we put them all together.
I know. I call dibs on the third gem. So when we have some short rest, I'm gonna sell said gem, and then remove it, from its then new owner. And
You're gonna leave the Underdark with the gem to sell it and then steal it back, maybe.
Not all the gems are in the Underdark yet.
They're all in the Underdark, except
all
for
in
the
the
one
Underdark?
on the night.
Do we
Okay.
actually know that?
So we gotta wait.
Yeah.
We gotta wait for the guy in the night anyway. So if we sell it and then remove the seller that purchased it, and
You're giving away a guarantee, though.
yeah, but we're also gaining a lot of money, and then we're getting the gem back.
Ambrose looks entirely dissatisfied with this conversation.
I disagree. I think we should hold on to them once
You're
we
right.
get them.
You're right. I'm sorry. I'll hold on to the third one. That's fine. Anyway, so let's go find it.
I think the next one should probably be at the tournament because we don't have we got what 1 day until the tournament,
Yeah.
and then
Crap.
we're probably gonna need a lot of time in that city. I'm guessing.
We could probably go early and scout the competition, and maybe put some bets down.
That would be kind of fun.
That would also be probably pretty intelligent of us.
I'm so glad that we have a reason for Erebir to stay down here now, because I bet Saloon is not going to be happy about the spider goddess either.
That's
Well, everyone roll history on that, actually.
That 20!
18.
Alright, I assume you would communicate it to each other anyways. Erebir had told you last session that when she tried to commune with Saloon about the gem, Saloon had said she does not interfere with the affairs of the other courtesans.
That's right.
But I would also assume if the other court gods become significantly more powerful, that would not be in Saloon's best interest, from what we're hearing, right?
From what you've heard from Erebir and what Ambrose has said, they have not given you a reason to believe that the other court gods would do anything about it.
So it's just Ambrose's god right now that we
Right.
know about.
Well,
He
we
does
don't
not serve
know.
a god.
We don't know.
Celestial thing.
Right? Yeah, we don't. I mean, we don't know how the other gods feel. Maybe the other gods want that person to find them all. Right? Like we
Could be.
have no idea.
I think we just don't know.
So, yeah, I mean, the other gods could be dicks. You don't know.
It usually
I
seems
could
that
ask Doppio how he feels about it.
way.
Sure,
Let's not put Doppio on
Yes.
this.
Let's ask Doppio. Maybe
Okay.
you can help us.
Yeah, I write a letter. I'm going to write a letter to Doppio and it's going to say, Dear Dopey, thank you for the hint on what the gem meant. Turns out they're going to summon the spider god lady. Do you like her? Yes or no, please circle one. And then I burn the letter.
What if Doppio is like the jester clown of this like Supreme Court?
For sure, Loki.
I don't think he's on the Supreme Court.
No,
I think
he's
he's
their
like
clown.
the lowest god.
Yeah, he's like
Yeah,
a clown, though.
He
He's,
smashes
Court.
pies. He smashes pies in his face.
He's
for
okay.
entertainment.
So the way that gods work in this world is they are born from the wishes of man, and they survive based on.
Just saying.
Who-
I
who
wish
wished
to
for
fuck
that
this
guy?
shit
Just
up.
saying, there's a demigod created already.
Demigods are born, not created.
Yeah,
They are
they're
half
born from the
human.
wishes of men.
No, they're half human. Gods are created from the wishes of man, and they are kept alive by the number of worshippers, and that's also how powerful they are. So if you have a lot of worshippers, you're really powerful.
It's like Coco.
So you're
Souls
telling me
also come
I
into
need to get some worshippers.
Okay. Anyways, Doppio struggles to maintain like 10. So that's how low he is. Whereas someone like Saloon would have millions.
So you're telling me there's a chance to be a
Yeah,
god.
but Doppio might know about that. Just because he doesn't have power doesn't mean he doesn't know
No,
about gossip.
if anything, he would be the like black market knowledge guy because he's so desperate to find ways to live.
You think
Yes.
the other gods like torment Doppio and like
I think
try
most
to-
don't even know he exists.
they try to get his 10
The
followers
perfect spy.
thick?
We could
Or they-
totally utilize that.
If you can get on his good side, who knows what'll happen?
That's
Oh,
why I write
okay.
him letters.
Or maybe you
Just
stay on
saying.
his bad side and wants to use you.
He likes me.
I'm just saying, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So, you know, that's a saying.
He's gained one worshiper from dealing with you, so
Who first?
Yeah.
That's
I don't know if it's
that's
a
a
worship
tenth-
relationship
that's a
as much
tenth
as
of
a
the
mutual
worshippers.
friendship.
that's worship enough.
that's 10th of his worshippers right there.
He'll take it.
Yeah.
Beggars
But yeah,
can't be
so I
choosers.
write him the yes/no circle 1 letter, and I burn it, and I say, okay, now we just wait for a response, and I sit in the bed.
You do not get an immediate response.
Well,
Okay, I wait for one anyway.
Ultra God must consider this.
Let's so the altar is in the town that we got to go find that nobody knows where it is.
The city.
Right.
It's a lost city.
All right, city. Sorry. So the altar's in the city that nobody knows where it is because it's lost. We have
Well, it's down the cavern you're exploring for sure.
that one cavern that could go anywhere.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So
You
we
have
got
a
the homing
direction.
beacon.
So we go down the cavern, clearly, obviously to the right every time. And as we go down the cavern, we find the lost city, and that's where the altar is, which is great, but we also need 6 more gems.
Yeah.
There are
So-
gems in the city.
So every time on our way to said city, we could get jumped, murdered, and killed. And then we got to leave that city, come back to the town that we're right at.
We can probably stay
fight the
in the
knight.
city.
If
We can
we-
probably
oh.
take long rests in buildings and things.
True. We also
you
have
are-
to go kill people on the way to the night to even
If
defeat
you
them.
are unwilling to pursue this quest, my master will find someone else.
Scared Magnus?
No, I'm not. I'm just making sure we have all the facts and making sure that everybody's on board. I'm not saying that I'm not doing it, because apparently
I am so ready to do
everybody
this.
really needs a question.
Maybe I am very enthused about this quest, unlike some of my.
I think
Party
Amy should
members.
come with us.
Yeah, Imby, do you want to go? Why'd you come all the way down here,
think
by
you
the
should-
way?
I think you should join us on this mission.
That's a good question. How come you couldn't have just told us this remotely?
It was my master's will that I come and speak it directly.
I think we should talk to your master and make sure that it's his will for you to join us on this mission. It's that important, obviously.
He can watch you while you're with us.
I don't know how
Watch
combat ready
everything
Imby
regardless
is.
of me. He is not combat ready. You look like you can like push him and he'll break a bone.
Definitely should come with us.
Well, something that's also pressing and kind of at hand is we still need to get that the last gem from Mr. Big and Fight Club.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's the next one. Ready to go. Let's fight some guys.
So, yeah. So it's a bracket system. Speaking of that, it's a bracket system, right? That's what we kind of figured out.
You should be around Umbra when you talk about this.
Oh, okay. We should
Just
probably
because, like, if you're
talk
done
about
here,
this. It's probably a smart idea. Never mind.
Okay, Imby, are you going to stick around, Imby, or are you going back to the surface?
if you have no other questions, I will return, but I will ask you to not use the
Ooh.
intercom system with
something-
regards to this.
I have something for you to take with you. And I get a little box out from my, one of my belongings, and I put the snail egg in the napkin in there, and I say, can you please give
believe
this
the
to
technical term is a snag.
Sneg? I give you the sneg, And I say, can you get this to... Oh, crap. What's her name again?
Remy.
Remy. Can you get this to Remy and tell her that it's one of those snail things and please keep it alive and in the dark? Thank you. Anybody have anything that we need Imbi to take to the surface with us?
I don't think so. Also ask about promotions. It's very important.
I mean, he would know the whole promotion process. It's just that I don't know the promotion process. So, that's the problem. I haven't thought about it that much.
All right. Well,
Okay.
thanks, Imbi. I think we have all the information. God, it's not working out. Information that we need.
One last piece of advice. The gems each have a nature, and they will come into coordination and conflict with one another.
This is the cold one. This must be cold.
I get the third one.
What was the first one? What's our first one do?
Like, increases power ish?
Well, I think they all do that. If the spider goddess wants them to. But what's its
You guys
its
keep
element?
pronouncing it wrong.
Spider.
Thank you.
Spider.
Okay. Well, thanks, Imbi, and I go up to his leg and I give it a hug.
He looks horribly uncomfortable.
And I look up and I
again.
say, "You're supposed to pat my head."
And it's just like a
Good job. We'll work on that one later.
Thanks, Ambrose.
and he looks excited to leave. He kind of bails pretty fast.
Bye, Imbi. Bye.
To Umbra?
If we want
to the
talk
other
about
guy,
that.
Tumbra.
Unless you have something you want to talk about first.
Wait, press the button.
Okay. Well, you go to your meeting spot with Umbra by the pond. And he looks excited to see you and like claps his hands and says, "Welcome back! It's good to see you again.
Yeah,
Have you decided which of you all is fighting?"
I think we're all fighting.
I think everyone is.
I think we're all jumping in.
Except the burrito girl.
Well, not
she's
right this
down and out.
second.
Well,
She'll
now
be fine.
she might be ready, yeah. By tourney time.
Oh, okay. Well, let me take a look at the brackets, and I've done some research on the possible opponents. And he kind of like goes over to the woman who was accompanying him before, and is looking over the papers that he's collected, which I have placed in a location underneath my webcam. So. That's good. All right. Few moments.
What
Oh,
just
God.
happened?
Oh, God. She disappeared. Whoa. There we go.
Webcam fell. I don't have a good setup. We're okay. A few moments later, he comes back to you and seems to have figured out where you will be in the brackets. Oddly enough, he kind of like when you're actually let's have everyone roll an insight check on that.
9.
5.
Mod 20.
8.
Poofers. You notice that when he's going through his papers and stuff, he doesn't really seem to be reading. He seems to be like going through them for show. And it looks like he probably already registered all of you to fight. So he comes up with his little book to you.
I give him a wink as he comes up to me.
He
I'm
winks
like
at
very
you.
obvious, like,
Okay. He winks back at you. And he says, "All right, I think I've figured out where you'll be in the brackets, and I have some information on your opponents if you're interested."
heck yeah. Who we slapping?
All right, the tall one first. Let's see. Which page is it? Here. Oh, you will be going up against a well-known individual. Her name is Eliara. She seems to be of druidic nature and is not a very nice person. She doesn't talk much. There's usually mushrooms around her.
Is she going to
And-
rude me to death?
Well, probably. Her tactics are pretty dirty.
Hmm.
Besides
Does grow
being
mushrooms.
besides being able to utilize the nature of the fungi that surround her, she can transform shape as well as summon individuals to assist her. She's known best for her elemental spells and her sort of unwavering mercilessness, as she seems to have no semblance of humanity to her.
Is there something
God.
specifically I should watch out for?
If anything, you should play against her defensively and try to remain mobile and avoid the onslaught of multiple creatures.
Don't die, Barry.
So,
Got it.
shot glasses.
Shot glasses.
In the past, she has been seen to resurrect the fallen through the control of the fungi.
Yikes.
Necro Druid? Holy crap.
Necro Druid. Okay. Next, for the demon one. You are paired.
I have a name.
What is it?
Demon one works.
What did you register him under?
Demon.
That works. I like it.
You're supposed to have a display name when you go in, but I didn't know them, so I just made them up.
Perfect.
You're muted.
Perfect.
Demon one is going against a drow like myself. One who really likes to get the crowd going. She is very loud and kind of obnoxious, if I'm honest. She's always seen in colorful clothing and wears a mask. That is the likeness of the comedy symbol, like comedy and tragedy. She's known for her mobility, keeping her distance, and use of spells to do damage from afar.
Got it.
Against who's next in this list? I switched everyone around. Against the one with the bow, the ginger one.
What?
We need to get your bear.
That.
Yes, the one with no soul over there.
Oh,
You are paired against a human spellcaster who specializes in chilling spells. She also enjoys keeping her distance and is particularly defensive. Hard to hit. Your friend, the one that is absent,
just call her Burrito Girl.
but thinks she's better than everyone else,
Also true.
is paired against a tabaxi who is known best for his speed and relentless pursuit.
His name Yosi.
No.
Dang, he's the only other tabaxi I know right now.
His codename is Lynx. He has been seen to harness radiant power to strengthen his typically unarmed strikes.
Oh,
Somebody
it's
take
gonna be a
notes on
bad day for her.
And finally, against the short cat.
Is that what you registered me as?
Yeah, there's tall blue, short cat, demon, ginger, and arrogant elf.
Well, you're not
I mean-
wrong.
I mean,
Technically correct. I mean, I guess it's good for the hustle, right?
I still feel the most offended by this list.
Against short cat is an opponent of comparable stature. He is heavily armored and difficult to do damage to. But he is known to use the power of the divine in his attacks. Though he is slow, he can hit hard and take a lot of hits. He also has a few tricks up his sleeve with regard to mobility, but once that is taken care of, he should be fairly slow.
Hold on, what would you say needs to be taken care of? I was taking notes.
He has a trump card, an alleged trump card for mobility. He's a dwarf, by the way.
Also short. Got it.
Did the druid, what race was she?
I gotta bring race into it.
It's hard to tell, honestly. If you are interested in seeing the other opponents, we can go to Tartarus and see if we can locate any. But I can't advise you interact with them.
Can we go watch them fight? Are they fighting today?
Let's go watch it.
I don't think any are on the docket to fight today, but there are other fights going on, so perhaps we will see them in the crowd.
Ooh, do we want to go check it out, guys?
I think so. It's probably a good idea. That way,
Sure.
if we see the that knight with the thing that we want to talk about, might help out.
Oh yeah, I gotta ask for his autograph.
Oh, you speak of the champion?
Yep.
Yeah.
He's known as the Endless Knight.
Oh, scary. Wait, you call me Short Cat and he gets a name like the Endless Night?
I forgot to ask for your names before you left last time.
Didn't you know my name was Poofers?
Frog.
I plead the fifth.
What does that mean? The fifth what? Let's just go.
So you guys walk to kind of unoccupied part of the caverns where the woman draws a door once again, and you proceed through to Tartarus, which, to remind you, is kind of like a very large underground cavern, like huge, with layers of platforms and decks made of kind of rickety wood. There are merchants, there are sketchy dealings going on. This is like, if the criminal underground were materialized, it is Tartarus.
Hold on, what did you call it? Tartarus?
Yes.
Let's call it the Thunderdome.
I was gonna say tartar sauce.
I'm gonna call this the Thunderdome.
I mean, we have butter.
We're not far off.
Pick cool allegorical names that are like allusions to mythology, and you get the Thunderdome and butter. So
Well,
What
Tartarus,
did you
tartar
really-
sauce.
Ooh,
The
Coffee Man, the Underdome.
Yeah.
I like that. Because it's also like underworld, you know, like
coffee, you're not helping.
he's helping. He came up with a good idea.
Isn't there also the Underminer?
Yes, that may or may not have been my wrestling persona.
Should
We're gonna have to get some Bluebeard for you.
yeah. Why don't you re-register as the Underminer?
Ooh, I could register as that or Captain Bluebeard. My fighting style differs depending on these two forms.
Hate all of you. Okay. So, you guys make it to Tartarus. You can go down to the arena if you'd like, or you can like try and walk around and look for people. If you want, whatever you want to do.
I'd like to look around and make sure that the leader of the what was the criminal organization is not there, because he technically purchased me.
What's his name?
First of all, it's definitely Saul, and
Saul. You're right.
he's the one of the head guys of the smuggling
Waterdeep.
ring of the Waterdeep.
That's right. Perception check, please.
15.
You don't see him in your immediate vicinity, but this place is big. He could be here.
What's he gonna do?
Who knows?
Send a criminal organization after me? Been
Not
there.
like you're out of your element here
It's not
or anything.
It's not like he knows exactly who I am when I'm going to take the stage.
Yeah, it's not like you guys are going to be at the center of attention of this place or anything.
No, not at
We,
all.
we had a good meeting last time we spoke, so I'm sure we're gonna be fine.
You guys are peachy. So, I assume you eventually go down to the arena.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is on roll 20 if you want to see it, just so you can like make plans around how you might utilize it. To clarify, the bridge is about 20 feet above ground, and the bottom pillar of it is a little staircase, so you can like run up it and go on the
You
bridge.
spent all that time placing all those people in there.
I did, and rotating them to face the right way. So, yes. Also, the map program crashed 4 times, so to restart.
Hey, roll 20.
Yeah.
It looks real good.
Anyways, Umbra is able to point out to you, actually all of your opponents. I can post them in context if you'd like to take a look. Really
Can I
quick.
go up and talk to mine?
They are currently scattered throughout the arena. You can, but he recommended not doing that
Why shouldn't I talk to him?
because they might try and hurt you now.
But why? Why would they do that?
This is the druid. The first one's the druid.
Oh man.
Glad I'm not fighting that guy. Is that a rubber ducky he's got?
It's a bird.
Oh.
Speaking of, do I
Ooh,
still do I
okay.
have Russell?
I don't. Did you bring him into the Underdark?
I don't know. Can Crow see in the dark?
I don't think so.
I'd say he
Alright.
probably
I-
would not want to be down
Yeah,
here.
I probably left him with Kai.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So there's the monk. There's the sorcerer. The sorcerer is against Troy. Here is the paladin facing against Poofers,
Ah, he looks like a little bitch. I'm fine.
and I have
Poofers,
2 images
language.
for the bard lock that
God
Magnus
damn
is facing. So they look like that, but they wear a comedy mask, and they use a lyre instead of a lute, and the lyre looks like what this person is carrying.
See, I don't know what a lyre is. Oh, okay.
That's why she has the visual aid.
Very smart.
Yeah.
So he looks like the first person, but carries the second person's instrument.
Yes.
Got it.
Bard lock.
Hard lock. Super.
Okay, well, my opponent looks concerning.
He looks friendly. You should go talk to him right
I mean,
now.
maybe his bird looks friendly.
Really want to go sit down next to my guy, but I don't want him to step on me or something.
Umbra, what exactly does that bird do?
She's been seen like whispering to it or talking to it, but no one really knows. Might be her friend.
Does my opponent, opponent,
I
usually
keep saying the same thing. I don't know why.
draw a pretty big crowd? I feel like it'd be that she would be, drawing a crowd even though if she's not competing, right?
He or she is
Oh, God, we don't know.
no. The opinion is pretty split. Some people think they're really entertaining, and some people think they're really annoying. So, usually draws large crowds, but not always for the right reason. Many root for their death.
How many victories has mine had?
They've all participated a few times. None of them, I believe, have won, but they've all survived.
That's a good sign.
Yeah.
We're fighting the losers, boys. We'll be fine.
We're in the loser bracket.
So you know, there's also not many rules, so if you want to bring stuff in or prepare early and play dirty, that's usually encouraged. The only thing we don't do is allow support from the crowd.
Oh,
The crowd will
you're
turn on you.
telling me there's a chance.
Might have to look into my bag of things I forgot about.
Does my opponent, the spellcaster, use any kind of weapon? I mean, I know you sent the picture, but within context.
She is exclusively a caster. No weapons.
But nothing that enhances her ability to cast.
That would be her own blood. As you can tell, she's not entirely human. If you get close, you'll actually see she's kind of got a scaly exterior. She has a draconic bloodline.
She breathes fire.
Oh, haven't we not seen dragon people, really? At all, except
She's-
for
We
the...
saw one, right?
She is not a dragonborn.
Okay.
She is a human. There's a sorcery bloodline called draconic, which is like when you're a descendant of a dragon or you have dragon blood. But she's not a dragonborn.
Gotcha.
So, just so we're clear, the bridge is about 20 feet. Weapons on either side. Do we get to bring weapons in?
You can bring in, like he said, there's pretty much no rules. So like, if you want Callie to enchant something or to like, she can like put a glyph of warning on your shield or something like that. She can prepare you or anyone can prepare you as much as you want. The only thing that can't happen is other people helping you during the fight.
Oh. Sounds like a W to me.
Like if you can, like, there's a chance you could come into the arena to prepare things if you really wanted to.
Oh my gosh. Noted. Does this arena close?
I mean, there's always someone around.
Right,
won't
but
get
there's
here.
not like fights at night and stuff like that, right? There's a
No, the fights are scheduled, so it'll be empty sometimes, and like, technically there's a guard posted, but you know, you could bribe him to get by or something. Like, he's
Noted.
not-
If you have money.
Or you
True.
could just kill him.
But I got pretty colored gems.
So, yeah. There's a way in if you need it.
Look at that.
Anything else you guys want to do here?
Is there a fight going on right now?
There is a fight going on right now between two pretty insignificant people that I didn't bother to make custom things for.
I'm gonna
I'm
throw down
opening
50
act.
gold on the small one.
I want to watch my component. Gosh, God, I do that every time. I want to watch my opponent, the facial expressions while they fight.
So they're watching the fight also. They are like into it. Like they are like cheering at every time someone gets hurt. Like they're wild. They are wearing a mask still, but you can like hear their chants behind it. Across the arena. They're very loud. Super hyper.
I have thrown down 50 gold.
It's just a 50-50 chance here.
That's fine.
Is my opponent drinking anything?
Not right now. You could tell them for a while if you wanted to. I am
got
giving
a vial
you.
of heroin.
You're gonna
so I gotta
slip
find
them
out.
a burrito?
You
No,
guys
but I have a vial of heroin.
You guys have free reign of Tartarus for I guess one day in game for you to come and strategize or try and poison your opponent or whatever, or prepare in any way you want to. There's a risk with coming ahead and like trying to fuck with them. They might catch you, someone might catch you and stuff like that, but you have the opportunity to over text RP for the next week. As for the fight, the little one loses with a 9. So you're out 50 gold.
Boo.
Umbra seems pretty enthusiastic to see you guys fight. He's confident that he's gonna make some money.
I betting against us.
Take a dive. It's
That's not what's important. It's about having fun, right?
Sure.
You
Just
guys,
so we're clear, these fights are to the death, right?
It can be.
usually the opponent will go for the kill, but not always. Sometimes well, I'm not really supposed to talk about it, I guess, but I've seen the founder once or twice step in to stop something.
How many many people do I have to beat to fight the big guy in black?
The Endless Night.
Yeah, with the cool name.
If you choose to fight him, I think you'll have to go through a total of 2 or 3, considering your victories. But if your friends also win, we can rig those to be short.
Interesting. So there's a chance that we'll fight each other if we make it to the next bracket because we'll be the winners.
Well, it looks like when Barry wins and I win, we'll fight each other. When Troy wins and following the thing, Erebor wins.
Oh, I didn't give them to you in a specific order.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Sorry. That was a
So-
good thought, though.
Somebody that wins of all of us, because I'm assuming we're all going to win. You know, got to be positive here. Somebody's getting a bye for round 2. So, just heads up.
Magnus and Troy. You're looking around the arena and you both notice that the founder and the Endless Knight are kind of like in a separated part of the stands. And as you look at them, the founder seems to kind of like make eye contact with you and look directly back at you, and he elbows the knight next to him, and points over at you guys, and the knight turns his helmeted face in your direction. The founder, who was wearing a mask previously when he was in the arena, is not wearing one right now. He looks like a dinky little elf, like even shorter than a normal elf. He's like 5'4" or something really short. And he doesn't seem to like he's not imposing or anything. You wouldn't think he's very strong. But they seem to take like direct note of you and start chattering with each other.
I'll do one of these.
Well, they know who to watch out for, huh, Magnus?
Yeah, do we recognize either of them? I know you said the knight has a helmet on, but do we recognize the founder?
No. You've never met him before.
Right. Do they have any type of sigils on or anything like that stands out to us?
So they're pretty far from you eyesight-wise, but you do notice that the elf, the founder, has some like light blue tattoos that extend from his cheek down his neck and then under his clothes.
Would we have seen that in other locations?
You would not have. Would you have read about it?
Would Erebor have seen that before?
Erebor and Viren would probably recognize them as divine in nature, and like kind of design, but they wouldn't know with whom it's associated. Assuming you point him out to Viren, who did notice him before.
Yeah.
There's just kind of like it's like a celestial script style, and you guys are both, pretty attuned to the divine. You would like recognize just kind of like the design of the tattoo as a celestial origin.
Yeah. Troy, what? You don't recognize either of these guys, yeah?
No, especially not from afar.
How did they just randomly point us out?
I don't know.
I mean, there's other elves and other tieflings out here, right? So I mean, right, DM? We're not like randomly.
Yeah, no,
standing out.
you're not
Okay.
standing out particularly. You take like before you came, you covered your sigils and everything. Like you're trying to fit
Right.
in.
So, Hey Barry, do you, real quick, up without making it super obvious, up top with the founders at in the night up there, he has like some blue markings on his face. Do you know what any of that means?
Can I get a check on that?
Yeah, roll religion.
7.
Nope.
No, it doesn't seem familiar to me.
I can roll for Erebor if you want.
Yeah.
Sure.
She's at home with a tummy ache,
Right.
so. Poofers, you can like draw it out for her if you want. Is that fair?
Sure. Yeah, I can draw it for her and we can bring it back.
And-
While we're here, oh, go ahead.
So, Troy, they seem to take interest in us. I mean, it would only make sense and be appropriate to, pay the respects, right? If you're in, pay the king's tax, as it were. Go introduce.
You're proposing that we go talk with them?
Sure. He's the one that stops fights from death. So it's always nice to have a pocketed ace, if you will.
Are we gonna bring the rest or just go by ourselves?
I mean, I think you and I could go slip away and take a look.
Overs throws popcorn onto the people in front of her and yells, and is now very into the fight.
Yeah.
She probably doesn't even notice you guys leave.
What do you think?
Before we do, I'd like to use one of my new skills. I'm not exactly sure how it works, so DM help with know your enemy.
Okay.
I'd like to kind of assess both of them.
So let me look it up. Spend at least 1 minute observing or interacting with another creature. Outside of combat, you can learn certain information. Alright. So you get to choose which characteristics you would like to know about them. You can choose 2 of them. Strength, Dex, Constitution, Armor class, Hit points, Total class levels, and Fighter class levels. You're muted.
Definitely total class level.
Yeah, total class level.
Yeah, probably check class level on both of them. And then
Sorry. Okay.
good, man.
Yeah, I want a total class level on both of them. And what do you guys think the other one would be good to know?
Can we know the actual class of them? Was that like a option?
Is not an option. Can know Fighter class.
Hit points? Was that one of them?
Don't ask hit points because I don't know.
Armor class? might
Armor
be
class
helpful.
would be
Yeah, the
what
AC
hits or
might be a
doesn't.
good call.
Yeah, I want to know that as
I
well.
don't have their stat blocks built yet. All right, that's fine. I can estimate it. How about
Or
that?
motivation?
And
I mean,
once they are
you can let
built out,
you can let Troy know once you know the stat blocks at least.
I know their levels. I just don't know the AC or HP. So I can you could choose one and I'll let you know when it's built.
I'd probably want to know AC over HP.
Yeah, that's probably a better call.
Okay. Well, I can tell you.
What do you think, Troy?
They are.
Well, but I don't know, because if you know how much HP something has, you can kind of keep track of where it's at, which might make you fight differently.
True.
Like, think about knowing like an enemy's health bar.
It's
If
your
you're
skill.
low and they're low, and you've got like some kind of super hit, you might go for it. But if you don't know what they're at, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's your skill.
Plus,
That's
you
what you
kind of
want.
find out as you go what hits and what doesn't. So it only takes a couple turns to kind of figure out what the AC is.
So it sounds like HP.
I don't know the HP right now, but I'll get back to you once it's built.
So this skill though, can I kind of just use this because it's outside of combat? Is it something I have?
Yeah. So as long
ability to
as
do
you
on-
can, whenever you want, as long as it's a minute outside of combat.
Okay. I'd also like to know the same about my opponent, the human spellcaster. I'd like to know total level, and yeah, I'll say total HP.
Okay. Cool. So, the founder is level 15.
Oh god,
See, that's a really good thing to know.
that is a good thing to know. Since we are 7.
The champion, the Endless Knight, is 18.
Nope.
The
Maybe a hard pass.
your opponent
Spider God help better come in handy.
Yeah.
Your opponent is level 8 with 66 hit points.
You can do that in one good turn.
2 shots. Yeah.
No, you guys can do that in one good turn.
One sneak attack.
You can look at all of their opponents if you really want to.
Well, if you
I
guys
think you
want
really
me
want
to,
to.
Nudge, 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 nudge.
Okay, well, you guys, I'm gonna systematically look at each opponent and give you guys whatever 2
Very smart.
you want to know.
So as I said, your opponent, her name is Missy. 66. They're all level 8.
Okay, guys, they're all level 8.
Eligor, who is Poofer's combatant, is 76 HP. Nyx, the Bardlock against Magnus, 67.
Oh, one good hit. Call it a day.
Lynx, the monk, 59.
Hang on 1 second. Before you go off giving me HP.
Okay.
What do druids go off of? Their stats?
Their hit die, you mean?
Or like I forget what druid. What's their spell casting?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. Okay, that's not an option.
Do you want her hit points?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, you can get her AC if you want, but it's gonna change because she's wild shapes.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking about too. I was also thinking about the hit
Wait,
points.
isn't her hit
because-
points gonna change?
Yeah, hit points are gonna change too.
Yeah, but so the way that wild shape works is if you break them out of their wild shape,
Yeah.
damage carries over, right? So
Okay.
you
Yeah,
still
I'll
have to
take
get
HP.
her down. 67.
Thanks, Troy.
Thinking about this, we probably shouldn't have asked what their overall level was since we're facing off anyways, regardless
I'll
of
let
what their
you-
level is.
I'll let you change it if you want. I don't care.
Do you guys want
It was
know
good
this?
to know that
Actually,
about the founder
dude,
and the
it
knight.
was super important to find out about the founder of the night. Like,
And
if,
also, this skill needs to be utilized all the time. All the time. Like, every
yeah.
second of the day.
Okay, yes, but it has to be a minute outside of combat. So if we're ambushed, I can't do it. So
Fair enough.
it's
Fair enough, but
it's
if
when
somebody's-
we know we're engaging ahead of time, then
Oh, I
it's
should have
somebody's a
used
dick,
that on
we
and
could
we're-
have
right.
checked the
And we're
snails.
assuming
Snails.
we're gonna kill somebody because somebody's a dick. I want level checks.
I didn't have it on Shine Bright for the record.
Right.
Alright,
Exactly.
So what other trait do you want to know about your opponents?
Well, in that case, I want to know the AC.
Sure.
Okay. Alright. The Sorcerer Missy, 17.
Thanks, Gaggins.
She's as a sorcerer,
She's got Draconic Scales.
60.
Eligor, the Paladin, 19.
Oh,
Nyx, the Bardlock, 16.
oh, that's gonna be a 2-shot here, boys. Not even
Lynx, the Monk, 17. And Eliar, the Druid, 11 base. But she will change.
Noted.
16 AC. Was
19 AC?
Yeah, it's hard.
Ugh.
Just saying. If I roll a nat 20, it's gonna be a 1-shot here, boys.
That's so nice for you.
By the way,
That you're
you
not
can.
fighting a tank.
By the way, you can all level up to 8 after this session.
Hey!
Will be
Whoa.
matching your opponent's level,
Wow. Okay. Nice.
which will be fun. And now that you know the level of the Founder and the Endless Knight, this may be an indication that you are not intended to fight them.
Really?
Ah,
It's,
Spider
I
God
say
power
we should
can't
go
help
talk to
me.
him, Troy. What do you
Okay,
think?
so you guys let me know. Like Magnus is saying, this is so far has been a completely underutilized skill. So if you guys want to know anything about somebody, just nudge me and say, "What do you know about that person?"
What are your
Yeah.
What are your LIC?
So,
We can literally ask him that.
although I'm assuming we got to be done, I do want to go at some point, maybe text RP, go talk to them.
Yeah, so just to remind you from last time, they're really hard to get in contact with.
Okay.
They kind of like don't just wander around the town or anything. So
Are there like guards around them or anything that we see? Like, are they
People
heavily
just-
protected?
people just no, they're completely like no one is sitting by them because they're just kind of like there's like an aura of danger around them.
Well, it's still like UFC fighters have bodyguards for some reason. You know?
Oh yeah, no, people just like kind of don't go near them. The intention is that you need to win the tournament to talk to them.
Got it.
But you can still try, absolutely. Like I will, if you come up with a clever enough way to get in contact with them, you absolutely can. It's just gonna be tough.
Notice.
Sword boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people, this does not, like, there are no guards here or anything. Like, if you stab someone, they're gonna stab you back, and no one's gonna care.
I mean, everybody cue to episode 1.
Yeah, if you
So-
stab a guy in the neck, he's just gonna stab you right in the neck back.
Well, if you stab a guy in the neck in a bar and just let him die, no guards are going to come and throw you in jail. So
Is there a bar here?
everything's going to be totally fine.
There, I
There-
guarantee there's pretty much anything you want here.
There's
For
a
sure,
bar.
a bar in here.
Oh my, how common are bar fights and how do I get in one?
Oh
You can
my
in text RP, you have a full day's time to do stuff. Just make sure you're rested so you're not exhausted.
God. I'm so
Fun.
excited.
But I hope if we live through this all, we can come back here.
So,
Here's hoping.
Elmer would like one departing note before we finish for tonight, unless you guys have something else you want to do. Don't tell anyone you're wardens, and don't tell the wardens about this place. Please.
Mum's the way. Got it.
This is a
Got it.
underground. Like, this place is like the criminal underground, like I said. So, there are Magnus. You'll like walk through the town and definitely recognize that someone is a crow. Not necessarily see one that you worked with, but you'll be like, that guy is definitely a crow.
I feel very much at home in this place.
Exactly. So everyone here
This
is sketchy.
oblivious.
If someone finds out you're a warden, they'll probably kill you.
Oh my god.
So-
I
need
pushed
some-
my
I need some
warden
time this
sigil
week.
farther into my cloak.
Yeah, they will gang up on you. Also, don't accept drinks from strangers. Don't put your drink down and walk away.
Just like real life.
Yes.
Noted.
Anything else you guys want to do tonight?
I think we're good.
Yep.
I think we're good. We got our snails down.
I mean, I'm going to have to talk to Callie and get some more poison potions, just so we're clear.
Callie can provide potions and stuff for you because she can buy stuff from the black market here for potions and whatnot. You can't go buy magic items from Red Cliff, obviously, but there might be some black market ones here. And you are welcome to make any preparations you can think of. You just have to tell me and succeed at any rules I ask you for.
Copy that.
Any questions?
I don't think so.
Let me just close all the stat blocks I had for the encounter tonight.
I'm just saying, we are pretty legit snail killers.
Yeah. And we
Should make it a
just
hobby
got
of it.
flushed with cash. So.
I mean,
Yeah, it's funny because you guys are like, we don't have enough money for anything, and I'm like, well, good thing you have this encounter tonight.
Sweet.
perfect.
All right, guys. I think that's it. We'll be back next Friday. Thanks for following. You can check out our Discord. See you next time.